Welcome into the Cam Strick podcast, episode number 241, presented by Hair Club.
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
Your hair's looking a little...
What? I shaved it down pretty good.
Did you do that? Did you get a haircut?
Yeah. I shaved it down pretty
What
good.
did you use?
I didn't use a goddamn
No,
thing,
like
Andy.
clippers or
No,
scissors?
I go to this old man. I go to this old man in Eureka I've been going to for decades, man. And I'm in there by myself, and he knows that I close my eyes, and he cuts each individual hair one by one, and he's so smooth and quiet, and it's very relaxing. I go to these other broads sometimes, and all they do is...
I don't think you should call them that.
What?
You can't. I don't think you should probably say that.
Say what?
Broads.
Oh, fuck, my bad.
Is that...
But then I go, what?
What is the term broad? Is that like...
I don't know.
An offensive word?
Probably. I'm sorry. But in this instance, I got to call them broads because they kind of...
23%.
No, because I go in there and they just talk my ear off the whole time, Andy. All I want to do is I want you to concentrate on the task in hand and don't... They'll get going cutting, and then she'll stop and like walk in front of me and stare at me and talk to me about Tom Brady. I'm like, stop it, woman. Get back there.
Okay, you shouldn't say that either.
What?
You shouldn't call them like woman.
Well, she is a woman.
Like you're being very hardcore today.
I know, but I'm just saying, I don't say that to her, but I think it. Task in hand, which is my hair.
Yeah.
I don't care about Tom Brady. I don't care about Vanessa Williams, whatever her name, Venus Williams. Don't care. Serena, I know they're lovely people, great athletes, but I don't want you
Do you know
to talk to
Serena's
them.
husband invented Reddit?
Oh, yeah, they're probably doing pretty well.
Well, she's doing pretty well, too.
You know? Yeah, but anyway, so I go to the old man, and I have a nice, chill haircut, and I tip him out like $10 every time. And I could do it quicker if I go to the chicks, but they just annoy me, Andy.
The story goes, Nike came to her with a $3 million check to endorse Nike, and they said you have till 11:59 p.m. tonight to accept the offer, otherwise it's off the table.
Oh, yeah?
And she accepted it back in the day. I think it's one of the more miraculous stories in the history of mankind.
What?
That two girls from Compton... And like when I was in high school, I listened to a lot of rappers from Compton.
Yeah. Well, you could relate to them. You know,
a lot of the hardcore rappers were coming from Compton, Inglewood, Watts, South Central.
Yeah,
that area, and for them to come out of Compton and become absolute tennis icons is one of the more miraculous stories in the history of mankind.
I can see that.
It's unbelievable. Now, getting back to the hairdresser, so mine is a French Canadian. She's very nice. She talks a lot, and one day, Cam, her hand was bleeding profusely.
Why?
Her thumb. I don't know what was going on. She had blood all over her thumb, and I was getting a little grossed out. I was getting grossed out.
And she was cutting your hair with a cut-up hand?
Yeah, one time she thought she was pregnant and left because she had went and threw up and came back.
Oh, you got to get out of that.
I mean, there's just a lot of stuff going on.
She's bleeding on you and
bleeding
stuff?
on me.
No, that's out of control.
My wife's like, okay, you gotta change it out.
You gotta put your foot down way more often. It's funny, Andy will put his foot down with me with a lot of stuff, but no one else in his life. You know, including the hairdresser who's literally bleeding on you and leaving you because she has to puke.
Yeah, well.
Like, don't go there.
And then she wasn't even pregnant, you know, so.
I thought I was pregnant again.
I know.
How the hell do you not know?
And then, like, she'll be like, and she's very, very cute.
Well, that's why you go.
But she will say, hey, sorry, I had garlic for lunch. And
Oh,
I'm like,
see,
oh, my God.
Damn,
she's
girl.
ruining my experience.
Man, see, that's why I go to that old man. Like, I know he shakes a little bit. He cuts me up once in a while.
But he makes you bleed, doesn't he?
Yeah, he cuts me a couple times because he shaves my back, too, like razor. Yeah.
The whole back?
No, Andy. I don't take my shirt off, you donkey.
Jesus.
No, he just takes a hot shave.
They all
and
do
gets
that.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, when I go to the Birds, they don't do that shit. They just talk my fucking ear off.
The Birds?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
When I go there, it's like just fucking nonstop, and they don't take their time. This old man takes his time.
So last time I went, she actually shaved my face for me. Now, she not like barber style. She bust out this, like, razor that was, like, bright gold. I mean, it looked like, it was made out of, like, 21 karat gold, 24 karat gold or something. Beautiful.
That must have took a long time.
The most beautiful razor I've ever seen. And she brings it, and she starts
waste.
shaving me.
What a waste of time.
I know.
Like, Andy gets a personal shave. Your hair probably didn't grow back for, like, 6 weeks.
Do you think women hairdressers like fantasize a little bit, like they
About what?
Well, they fall in love with the people they're cutting their hair with, because they tell them deep secrets. I mean, a lot of times
I think that happens in any kind of environment, Andy.
No,
I mean, you go to any environment.
That's not any environment where they're like telling you deep secrets. People who are getting their hair cut will often confide in the person who's cutting the hair too.
So they're like cheating on your wife with the hairdresser kind of thing?
Well, that may go on.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, that happens.
Or if you're cheating on your wife, you may tell the hairdresser and nobody else.
Maybe. I sleep, dude. That's why I don't talk. I don't like talking because it's just like they want to know your business, and I don't like that, you know.
Are you gonna bring your A game today?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, because
I know last week I was, I didn't watch anything for like 3 days, and I wasn't prepared.
He knew nothing.
I got chirped, and I'm sorry about that. I'm usually on the
Were people
fucking
chirping
ball,
you? Because I was getting some of those too.
I just thought the Cam wasn't on this game. It's all good, man. My bad on that. My bad on that.
I was like, Cam,
dang.
It's Memorial Day. I haven't read anything. I don't even know.
I was kind of busy, and it was I don't, my bad. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
But I do got to give a First Form a shout out too before we get into
Hell
hockey.
yeah, baby. Firstforum.com/Cam Strick.
We got Ronny
more
Francis
and more
coming
people
up.
are using our link too.
Oh, good.
So I like
keep
hearing
doing
that,
guys. It
yes.
helps out so much. But they had a fucking huge event, 4 day long
Summer Smash,
and it was so badass.
Mm-hmm.
The Andy and I, like, we didn't know what to wear.
Cam wears pants. It's
such
100 degrees
idiot.
outside.
I know. I'm an idiot. And now I'm such a like I am a princess, I think, when it comes to this stuff. Because I get like nervous, like talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't look right, everybody's jacked there. The women, oh my God. Dude, I went home and made love to my wife. Because the girls there were the asses that you see. Mm. I mean, everybody's in shape. And you can't, like, you have to put your glasses on. Mm-hmm. Every girl was fucking cut up and like bubble butt.
Shorts.
Oh, Andy,
bubble
the sexiest.
butt, yes.
The sexiest thing ever. And I'm like, oh my, I couldn't stop looking around. I'm like, I got to put my fucking head down. Mm-hmm. And the guys were fucking handsome and jacked. Like, it was an intimidating ordeal.
Not for me.
Not for Andy. Andy blended right in.
I don't even care, honestly.
No, I didn't. But before you do, and then once you get in there and you talk to people, I'm like, fuck it.
First Form Nick, he doesn't care. He just wants to hang out with us the whole time.
Yeah, I know.
You know, he's coming straight out of like the Barbie movie, you know, like he looks like Ken.
You can tell he walks around and like, and I notice this stuff, you know, like girls stop and look at him.
No, here's what happens.
They stop and
they
stare
all
at
come
him.
up and talk to him.
I know.
All the employees.
Oh yeah, well he's a sweetheart.
They're like, okay, now it's like out of the work. See, they want to come, but I will say his wife, man, is cool as shit.
Oh,
too.
She's awesome, beautiful, beautiful girl, and everybody was stopping and looking at her too. Mm-hmm. So it goes both ways.
Well, you never know because I was standing with her a lot of times.
Well, they were looking at all the girls like, God, who's that Jack guy? He must
like, who's that guy that's not Jack?
I did get weirded out at the end though. You know, like I'm a social butterfly, and so is Andy. Like Andy and I can go anywhere and talk to anybody. You could put us in fucking anywhere, and we'll talk our way to anybody, anywhere, any fucking how. But like I'm talking, there's people everywhere. I don't know anybody. You know, some people don't know some people. I'm talking to this girl that was in our group. Mm-hmm. They all knew each other and stuff. So
what do you mean?
Well, she was like right by us.
The Canadian?
Yeah, the Canadian girl. Uh-huh. And I just like we're talking. And
she wasn't like in our group. We just like. It's where we stopped and like gathered.
Oh yeah, whatever. I thought she was friends with everybody. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. But I did think that, and this hasn't happened in a while. And I don't flirt. I'm not a flirt. I'm a goofball. Mm-hmm. Andy, you too. Like we don't flirt. We're just like make fun of each other. Yeah. We're very self-deprecating.
It's just not talk and say like, who are you? Where are you from? What do you do?
Oh, you're Canadian. Oh, cool. Shit, I lived up there. Oh, da-da-da-da. Yeah. Like it's like easy.
We're
like,
talking to her for like 45 minutes, and then what happened?
And then her big boy hubby shows up, and like. He's not very social. I don't know if he was in a bad mood. Maybe. I don't know if he was staring at us saying, these motherfuckers are talking to my wife.
And I was thinking of it the whole time because her husband was there, and it was making me uncomfortable knowing that he was going to walk up at any moment.
But I know how to play that.
But looking around, like, I was like, it's going to be one of these monsters.
Yeah, I know.
He's going to come up here thinking that I'm firing on his wife when I'm like, asking questions about their business and like pumping up their business.
He wasn't worried about you. But
you never know.
You never know.
You
got two guys.
You never know.
You know, there's all kinds of like athletes there. There's, you know, people are huge.
He didn't like you at first.
He did not like me at all. He did not like me at all. And I'm just trying to be funny and goofy, and I shook his hand too hard.
Oh yeah, then you like apologize.
Yeah, I'm like, sorry about.
What did you say to him after you shook his hand?
I go, I shake hands hard, man. I'm sorry. He goes,
He's
trying to rip my hand off. I go, no,
God.
I know.
That
so that's another
was aggressive.
Yes,
very
and
aggressive.
so that was more of an alpha male, alpha dog.
Yes.
I'm talking to your girl. We've been doing this before.
And now
I'm a
you're
hockey player. She's a
shaking
Canadian,
hand.
and I shook your hand and hurt your hand as an alpha male would do. No wonder he didn't like me.
No, I know.
And it was awkward. And I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. She's not like, like I'm not doing that, dude. We're sitting there and we're social and we talk to everybody. He gave me a bad vibe and I kind of felt bad.
But then he was fine, and then he gave Cam his number. Cam's like, "Hey, dude, let me get your number." So you're weirding him out again.
No, because business.
Right off the bat.
It's business, dude. He's got a clothing
but it was
apparel.
the first thing you asked for.
No, it was at the end. It was at the end.
And so then Cam texts him, and he responds.
Yeah, I go.
What'd he say? Who is? I don't know who you are.
I go, hey, guy, hey, bud, good meeting you, Cam Jansen here. He goes, I don't know anybody with this name. I'm like, okay. I just ignored him. Like, never mind. I gave you my number.
Never responded
got back.
again.
I don't play that game. I don't give a fuck.
So
I was just trying to be nice.
But dude, it was cool to see Sal and Andy and everybody. There's a line. What they've done, man,
they've created a monster, dude.
Is
it's a monster.
Is truly remarkable. They had the chain smokers, Rick Ross, even Mike. Period.
What's that dude?
Michael. Period.
Yeah, he was kind of cool too, like kind of rappy, country.
Yeah, like me, kind of.
Yeah, kind of like Andy. You guys probably grew up together. But listen, if you're gonna,
he's like pounding energy drinks on the.
Yeah, the First Form energy drinks. I was drinking those with vodka.
No, you weren't. Hold on.
What?
I go and get Cam. He first off, if Cam was going to the bar and I said, "Hey, get me a vodka," he wouldn't get me one. He bring me back like Mick Ultras and stuff because knowing that I may not want it, so then he'll just drink it.
Yeah,
he wouldn't fulfill the order.
Well,
so
don't be high maintenance.
So I order you I go get you a energy drink and vodka mixed drink.
Yeah, baby.
You didn't drink it. It was
yes,
like buying a drink for my wife and just like sits there.
Andy, you need to calm the fuck down. I fucking drink, dude. If I got an energy drink with vodka in front of me, are you out of your mind? I crushed them. And then I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here, But they hired fucking chain smokers, man. How much you think that's going to be? At least $500,000.
Close to $1 million.
Close to $1 million bucks. They are one of the high, they probably went on for an hour for a fucking $500,000.
I read, I think to book somebody like that, it's about $750,000 to $1 million.
Yeah, dude. Chain smokers, they're really good, and they got hits out the
wazoo. Are they that big still?
They're gigantic. And they don't just press a button up there. Some of those MC guys or whatever, and it's like, DJs, TJ Tiesto, they press a button here and there. Chain smoker guys actually sing, and they do their thing.
Wait, press a button?
Yeah, if you're a DJ like DJ Tiesto, you're not up there singing, Andy. You put the music together and you go up there and you press a fucking button and you lift your hands up like yoink, yoink, yoink.
They're not DJs. I mean,
but that's a band. It's a techno band, but they sing, so that's why they're.
Or they lip sync a lot of times too.
Well, I don't know.
When I'm watching the Today Show, I see a lot of the bands in their summer concert series come out there and just lip sync the whole time.
Well, you're watching the Today Show. What do you expect?
I mean,
good God,
can you put on a real performance?
What they talk about? Biden's fall.
Well, he fell off. Listen,
oh my God, Joe Biden!
My sources say there was a sandbag there.
That sandbag got fired. You ever see the movie Stripes?
Are you making fun of him because he fell?
No, because it's embarrassing. You don't want to laugh at that because it's literally embarrassing for the country. It truly is. Now, Donald Trump did stupid things that embarrass the country too. A lot of people do. But right now, he can't even fucking stand up and he can't even talk. And he blew a tire on stage.
Is he running for the next election?
Yeah, and he blew a tire on stage, and then he points like, "Get that removed at once."
He did point.
He pointed at it, and he says, "It just sucks."
Well, he's pissed, man. You can understand. He's probably pissed because he knows.
He doesn't even know what's going on. He doesn't even know how to get mad anymore.
But he knows this is going to be. He's going to be made fun of all over.
Well, whatever, dude. He's old and decrepit. And it's not good. Optically, it's God awful in every way possible. If I'm his wife, if I'm Dr. Jill, I'd be like, fuck this. Why are you running? I need you to live longer.
Oh my
God. This is aging you. Why are we in the spotlight? You can't help yourself. Career politicians, they cannot help themselves. They cannot retire. They will not retire. They need to keep. I mean, it's unbelievable. That Feinstein woman, she's in a wheelchair. She can't even move. And she's like, I'm still part of this. No, retire. Man, these people.
Who's this?
Oh, Dianne Feinstein. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're all old. Nancy Pelosi finally. She got $400 million in the bank. Funny how that is. Wow, she's good at that trading.
No,
she knows how to read them stocks, boy.
Okay,
she knows how to read them stocks pretty dang good.
You're reading
her and her husband know how to. They know how to read them stocks. Dang. Wow, they're really good.
A lot of politicians, they're super wealthy, dude.
Oh yeah, making $150,000 a year.
Yeah, but they're wealthy as hell.
Yeah, funny how that works.
I've got
that works.
I've got family members that work in like for political organizations, like not even for a political organization, but they put on. They organize and manage campaigns. You know.
Yeah, I know.
And those guys are all making a shit ton of money.
Yeah, like you could do a lot being in politics, man. You could do a lot.
I'm thinking about going into real estate.
Yeah, do everything but the podcast, Andy.
No,
do everything but the podcast.
I can do this in addition to anything
else. Andy thinks everything's so fucking easy. Go into real estate. You'll be working on weekends. Oh, you're going to work on weekends when Ty's fucking... You don't let Ty can't even like look at his hockey stick without you being right there. You're going to work on the weekends? Whenever they call you and they want to sell a house out by me, you're going to go drive all the way there and fucking present it on a weekend? And who's going to take Ty places? Who's going to take Ty to practice?
Well,
is Lori going to do it?
Maybe.
Is your neighbor going to do it? Are the Indian guys out down there going to take Ty to... Dude, I'm just telling you.
I mean,
you think that you have all this time. You don't have time to do fucking anything. And you want to waste your weekends doing real estate and fucking presenting a house out by me? Okay, cool.
Well, there's a show on Instagram, or is it Netflix?
Of course, there's a show that you watch.
Selling Sunset, I think.
It's just like you think that everything you can just do everything.
It's the girls in that show.
Oh, Jesus, I know.
I mean,
Andy,
it's like...
Andy.
I can't even control myself when I'm watching this, and my wife loves the show. So we want to start a business together, and I was going to give you a proposal, maybe that you and Kate get involved in the business.
What, real estate?
And let them do the open houses and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a different dang story.
Let them do the open houses.
Now, that's a different story.
I do the negotiating. You do the marketing, and we only do high-end homes, dude. That's
Now you're getting somewhere.
Okay, and that's...
Andy the real estate agent. Andy the astronaut. Andy this. No. Like, Andy, be a podcaster. Just be the podcaster. Now, with this, though, if the girls are involved and they could do all... Because, again, you think that you're going to have time to do this. You're not.
No, you just... Real estate, the best part about real estate...
Ask Kramer. Ask Kramer.
But you just kind of manage your own schedule.
Yeah, but if you want to make money, you got to be places. On call at all times.
There's plenty of hours in the day. And maybe
in your day? In your day?
Yeah, maybe.
Hell, I could do it.
Yeah.
But you can't.
So I'll just tell you where to be and all that type of stuff.
That's a different story. Kate's getting into a little thing, too. She's creating her own candles that she's going to sell.
Oh, she's going to make candles?
Yeah, all these cute little boutique shops all around Eureka.
How's she going to make them?
She's already got them. She already bought all the stuff.
How do you make it?
You put fucking wax in a goddamn candle holder, and then she creates these cute little candles.
It Candles by Kate?
Yeah.
That's not what it's called.
Something like that. She hasn't got.
Did I just give you the name?
It's Kate something.
Just call it Kate.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. No, she's creative. You know, she's creative with that. Well, it doesn't cost much.
Is she good at like artwork and stuff?
Yeah,
is she?
Yeah, very creative. She created a lot of things, selling 2 houses, making those houses look really cute. Man, I was living in a bachelor pad in my house until Kate moved in my old house in Eureka. And I had fucking like crosses up and shit like that.
Crosses?
Yeah, like these dark gothic looking
like
shit.
Like satanic stuff?
Yeah, and Kate's like, what the fuck? And she redid that cute little house of mine and made it just homey looking and beautiful and not so manly, weird, you know. I have no style when it comes to that shit. So Kate's got a good eye with that stuff. And we'll see what happens with it, man.
So we're at the event, though, too. And,
the asses.
And people they're saying the asses.
I mean,
the ass event, is that what you want to call it?
The tight, big booty event. That turned me on. Like an ass. If you got an ass.
With like neon color, like tight shorts.
Tight neon green with their booty hanging out with like riding up their ass.
The bubble butt, though.
The bubble butt, like with the thong riding up their ass. And you're just like, oh my God. I'm like, I got to get out of here. If I was single cruising around there. Back in the day.
Those women would crush you.
Oh, some of them were a little too much for me. I'm like, I got to be stronger than you still, you know. But a lot of them were just fucking hot and sexy.
Next year,
if you're single, hey, if you're single and you like First Form, go to that event. Go to that event and walk around. You better be fucking cut up and confident because everybody's confident there. But there's girls out the wazoo.
A lot of couples, though. A lot of couples.
No doubt. But there's a lot of couples everywhere,
Yeah,
Andy.
I know.
But I saw girls with 5 girls walking with the tightest of tight clothes. And they're all walking together like, do. I'm like, if I'm fucking single, oh my God. But I'm not. So I went home and made love to my wife. I did.
I made sure you got home safe.
Yeah. Man, oh man.
I felt bad leaving.
I know.
But I really wanted to get home to
I
watch
had a
that
Houdini.
game, man.
You got a Houdini.
I wanted to watch
You want to
that
watch
game.
hockey.
Well, it's not just hockey.
It's a Stanley Cup final, dude. Like, you got to watch it. You got work to do.
Mm-hmm.
I got to watch it. I got work to do.
Game 2 is tonight, so when everyone's listening to this, we'll know what happens in Game 2 already. But
I know.
Vegas has to win, in my opinion. They got to win again. They got to go back to Florida up 2-0. Yeah. You give Florida some life, and I'm just saying I don't have the most confidence in Adin Hill. Maybe it'll prove me wrong. This guy obviously has gotten him this far. I don't know how the hell Cousins didn't score that goal. It's one of the greatest saves we've seen in a long time. Here's the difference between Cousins and like a Matthew Tkachuk, for example, or like a David Perron or something like that. I'm just trying to use guys who score those dirty goals in front. Yeah. Their whole body would have taken the puck into the net.
The momentum would have.
They just would have forced the puck and their body to cross the goal line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, but I bet you if you go look through the archives, you could see if you have that many shots on goal, a goalie's going to fuck you once in a while like that. I don't give a shit if you're Matthew Tkachuk. I don't care if you're Yogs. I don't care who the fuck you are. A goalie's going to make a monster save on you one way or the other.
It was an amazing save.
So
it's one of the greatest saves. Honestly,
they might have, if that was Matthew, they probably would have done the same thing. I don't know.
Matthew would have put his whole body in the net and would have scored it.
Yeah, and then they would have called it off because he ran into the goal.
Well, whatever.
Well, I'm just telling you.
Maybe.
You know. I get what you're saying, but on the other hand, sometimes, man,
it's hard to chirp Dylan Cousins on the play.
And he's chirping Adin Hill for not being too far in the net. It's working for him.
It was, he got saved by the post on a couple.
Sometimes you get saved by the post too.
So I don't want to go too far on the goaltender because he could be great tonight or he could be terrible. But if he's terrible, I'm just saying I feel like the potential of him trending that way could be in play, and that's the only reason why Vegas doesn't win this series. It'd be the only reason is if the wheels completely fall off of Adin Hill. Because as a team,
they're really good.
Defensively, offensively, every player they have up front is a really, really good hockey player.
I know.
Everybody.
I know.
You go from one guy to the next.
Fourth line,
it's too. Like, what? Oh, that fourth line, man.
How
Absolutely.
about their D? They're huge.
Huge.
And they're good. Fuck.
I want to get that White Cloud on.
I like him, dude. He's totally cool. White Cloud. Somebody chirped him. Oh, I remember the announcer chirped. He was playing.
He had to come out and say something.
Yeah, but he played it cool. He wasn't a victim. He didn't act like a victim.
Right.
Because the announcer came out and said, "Oh, what kind of Sports Center guy?"
John Anderson.
I think all the people at ESPN, they're probably just like, we hate hockey so much, so we're going to fucking.
They don't even know.
They don't even fucking care. They don't know. They hate hockey so much. They're so pissed.
I think
that they even have to talk about
Gary
it.
Bettman hates it. There's rumors about Ray Ferraro leaving.
Really?
After next year to go take the Canucks job on Sportsnet full time.
My point is, so somebody didn't know who White Cloud, and he was a Native American or whatever it is, and
he's not Native American.
Or he's
indigenous Canadian.
Canadian. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. My bad. Indigenous Canadian. What? Okay, fine.
First Nation.
Is he Canadian? He's not from. He's not from Wisconsin or Minnesota.
No, he's First Nation.
First Nation. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andy. My bad on that. But then, so he kind of chirped his name, White Cloud. What kind of name? Whatever. And then White Cloud came out. He's like, "Hey, man."
He called it like toilet paper.
Yeah. Toilet paper. Like something really kind of like not funny.
Right.
But he didn't get offended by it, and that's what I like. Because it's so easy for White Cloud to be like, I didn't like that. Okay. And you know what? I'm going to get some sympathy points from people. And no, he's just like, I don't care.
Right. And have other people talking about it on his behalf. Signs at the game.
We are with you.
We stand with White Cloud.
We're stand with you. We're praying for you. We're thinking about you. He's like, I don't give a fuck.
He's like, it's all good, man.
It's all good, baby.
He apologized, but he's like,
I like that though.
But he also made it clear, like, I'm proud of where I come from.
Damn right.
And I'm proud of my name.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of my heritage. Yeah. So he let it be known. If anything, I'm not going to sit here and say they turned it into a positive because listen, you're making fun of the guy's name. You know, that's a risky situation in that, you know, you got to be careful there.
It's all good though.
Got to be careful.
You know.
But you know what? It allowed a lot of people to know and learn more about
it. Worked out. Yeah.
White Cloud.
Exactly. I like that kid.
He went to Bemidji State.
Yeah, that's why I thought he was from Minnesota.
Played college.
Big kid.
Big kid, 6'2".
Seems like a Viking.
And he can get the puck through. Just like that Theodore, shake and bake, man.
He's got blonde hair, doesn't he?
Kind of flowing hair.
Yeah, kind of like a...
And I saw a video of this guy, White Cloud, man. He's like visiting with kids after the game.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of kids, handing out sticks.
Oh, God, sorry about that.
He's just a cool-ass dude,
I like that. Whole team's cool.
Theodore's cool, too.
Theodore's really good.
Listen, Florida came into the series. You knew that they were like, hey, we're just going to beat the shit out of Vegas like we did everybody else. We're going to intimidate them. We're going to run them. We're going to get in their face.
Petro's going to lose his mind.
But Vegas doesn't really put up with it.
Oh, they're big and tough.
You know, Adin Hill's even swinging the blocker around, and people were kind of being critical of that, saying, hey, he needs to show his composure. But, you know, I don't know. I mean, whatever.
Sometimes get the fuck away from me.
He didn't fall apart.
No, sometimes
and he didn't get a penalty either, which he very easily could have gotten one.
Well, get away from me. You know what I mean? They were kicking the shit out of each other. It's going to get nasty, dude. It's going to get nasty.
It'll get nasty.
And Matthew turned the fucking puck over.
He did.
I mean, you know who else is cool? Paul Maurice. Okay. Like, he just seems like a fucking awesome guy to play for. I like what he said in post game, where he's like, "Chill the fuck out," you know, like we're okay. That was a goofy game for Florida. Matthew, your best player, that's been on the ice for the past how many weeks? He turns the puck over, tries to flip it out. Stone, the Stone dog, bat that mug down. Could have been high sticking. I don't know. That's a fucking good play. It's a hell of a play. And he goes bar down on Bob right there with the puck turned on you.
I know.
Pretty damn good play.
I know. Not many guys are going to be able to do that.
No.
Mark Stone obviously can. He's
like Ryan O'Reilly, but tougher.
Maybe.
I think he's mean. Ryan O'Reilly never pissed people off.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan O'Reilly never got cross-checked because no one wanted to cross-check him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good and bad.
Yeah.
Mark Stone.
No, he'd get like 2 penalties a year.
Yeah, I know. Mark Stone, like, knocked out Braden Shin
Ryan
one time.
O'Reilly's Lady Byng, dude.
Yes. Just like our boy Ronny Francis. We didn't ask him about that.
Lady Byng. Do
He's
you think anybody goes into the season and be like, my goal is to win the Lady Byng?
No, I don't think so.
Is it almost, I don't want to say embarrassing. Is it, would you be, not you specifically, because, you know, if you're winning the Lady Byng, dude, I mean, that's a major issue.
It is an issue.
But, I mean, it's a cool-ass trophy. Like, all the hockey trophies are just amazing looking. Like,
it's the worst trophy going.
But it's like, I won the Lady Byng.
And it's the name itself.
What'd you win? The Lady Byng?
Not the Manly Byng. The Lady Byng.
The Lady Byng. Oh, how do you get that? Like, you have like 100 points, you score 50?
You make out with
No, I got like no penalties.
No penalties. I was the nicest guy on the ice. It's a kind of a pussy
Isn't it
award.
hockey? Isn't like hockey like the meanest game there? Yeah, but I'm the nicest
nice
guy in hockey.
I don't like the name of that, the Lady Byng. It's like, and
yes, I won the Lady Byng.
Thank God. Congratulations. Although I don't think they're the most people we talk to who have won the Lady Byngs, like, I don't even know where the fuck thing is. I don't even know where it's at.
It's like my goal this year, guys.
I want to be the banger.
I'm gonna win the Lady Byng.
Fuck that. Sometimes you got to cross check.
But they're all cool ass trophies. Even that Memorial Cup, man, that's a cool ass trophy.
Oh yeah,
too.
Patrick Waugh.
Patty Waugh.
Patrick Waugh's team wins a Memorial Cup. That's a fun tournament, man. That's a long grind, dude.
I didn't think the game was great.
I didn't watch it.
I did. And like Seattle played Quebec.
Yeah.
The Blues have a first-round pick playing for Quebec.
Duke.
He's just a shooter, man. This guy
ripping it.
He can get it away.
Bolduc.
He just rips it. He's gonna have to play in the minors, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, probably need some time, but scored a goal.
I saw some video of that Connor Bedard working out and training. I follow like a Instagram thing of him. Fuck, man. He's thick, dude.
Can I ask you this though?
Yeah. He could have went to first form and dug in pretty good.
We may have to sign him to first form, just to kind of get him a little.
Con dog.
Oh yeah,
but they do BioSteel stuff.
I understand that.
But first forms.
But I feel like Crosby, McDavid. Oh, it's Monday.
Uh-oh.
It's the first Monday of the month. That means the tornado sirens are coming out.
What does that mean right now?
We know that sound.
That's when the devil's coming.
I feel like Bedard though. Like, didn't McDavid win like an OHL championship or get to the Memorial Cup?
Man, why do you ask me these questions, dude? This is your alley.
Look that up, Brody. Did McDavid get to a Memorial Cup?
And then what?
I know Crosby did. I'm just like, if you're that good as Bedard is, like, how is the team not building like a powerhouse?
Because you have a 3-year period, man.
No? It's positive.
Dude, that's a hard trophy to win. Probably the hardest trophy.
No, I mean, did he win an OHL championship and go to the Memorial Cup?
Yeah, the Otters lost.
Well, look about the year before. I'm just saying.
What's your point?
I just feel like if you're that good, like.
Yeah, dude, it's still a team fucking thing.
I get it.
I mean, come on.
I'm just saying. Listen, he could have been traded. He didn't want to get traded.
The team probably sucked for a while.
Everyone was trying to like trade for him.
You only have like 3 years with the same guy. Like, it's tough. 1 year you could be the best. Next year you're worse. The next year you're the best. The next year you're worse.
Dude, that Seattle team that lost, they have like 5 first-round picks on the team.
Oh, yeah.
They had a guy on the team, Gunther, who played like 30-plus games for the Coyotes this year. And he had like no goals in the Memorial Cup. Like, couldn't do anything.
So he got sent back down?
He's getting put on his ass, too, every time he got the puck, too.
Coyotes draft pick?
I'll tell you this, man.
Oh, God.
And Quebec had, 1 or 2 first-rounders. Seattle had a bunch of players that played for Canada in the World Juniors, too. I think Quebec maybe had 1 or 2. Listen, they just played like they were very well coached, man. There's something to be said for that. So we'll see if Patrick Waugh ends up behind the bench of an NHL game.
Where was it at?
I remember my first year working TV. I remember being like in Colorado, and Patrick Waugh's the coach. He's like chirping Hitch after the game.
No, he's unstable.
He's kind of like a little crazy.
Yeah, he is. He was crazy when he played. Mm-hmm. He's crazy as an executive. He's crazy as a coach.
You know what he said though? He said something that was interesting. He goes, "I tell players all the time. I don't want to like use his accent, but I tell players all the time.
I
tell player all the time.
All the time
about his career. He's like, I don't talk about Vezina Trophy, Stanley Cup Trophy, because it wasn't always perfect. Like, he had a lot of adversity. He did have to grind. There were some dark times, low moments too. And he tries to share those with his players also, man.
Yeah, it's not just happy. Look at I did.
Happyville.
1993, and then 96 came around, 87. I was so easy. No, like there's shit.
86.
Dude, 86, I'm sorry. They booed me out of my fucking building against the Red Wings. Like, I was fucking pissed. That was like embarrassing for the organization.
Was that the Red Wings they played in that game?
And Stevie Y. And that's when they were fucking
he gave
dominant.
Up like 9 goals or something.
9 goals. That's when the Red Wings played in the finals.
We've had a number of people talk about that instance, too.
Yeah, 10 goals, and they wouldn't pull him. And he's, fuck you.
And he tells the owner. The owner's sitting right behind the bench.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome. But that was, like, he was fucking pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of shit, even in Colorado, where up and down shit. It's never easy. When you're a Hall of Famer like that, man, you go through fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thinks, oh, you won, you win. No, man. Like, there was always some bad times. Now, you're talking to a professional athlete. Like, you're still a pro athlete. People were talking the other day. Somebody asked me the other day on the radio show, Andy. They go, do people, when they sign a big contract somewhere and they don't perform, how hard is it on a player? When you sign this big... It's got to be
miserable, man.
It's a miserable... I've talked to guys. Give you an example. David Clarkson.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck, he won't even do a fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, he wouldn't even do my radio show. I go, and he was down and out. So David Clarkson scored 30 goals.
You guys were buddies, right?
Yeah, he was my roommate and all that stuff. And Clarky, we kind of both came up the same way. He played for Kitch. I was with Windsor and Guelph, whatever. And we became good buddies. And he scored 30 goals in 2012 with our Devils team with Pete DeBoer at the helm. He had 30 fights. He had fucking 30 goals. First power play unit. Just was perfect. Perfect for that system. Perfect for the team we had. Perfect. Mm-hmm. And he took a little bit more money and went to his hometown in Toronto. And we all know what happened after that. But he was miserable.
Yeah.
But.
Well, especially there, man.
Oh, yeah. But. So now, like, Clarky's probably not going back to, Toronto for an alumni event and stuff like that because the fans are probably going to chirp you pretty good. So I get that aspect of it. So I think he had to move houses and stuff.
Is he still getting paid?
Yeah, I think so, dude. But he's coaching this kid, and he's traveling around, but he was depressed. So they asked me, and I go, yeah, man, dude, it's tough, man, because the fans are always on you. But you still got to look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And if your head's okay, just because you're depressed and you got fans are chirping you, you made a fuck ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
And you could do whatever the fuck you want. Now you're on a bus watching your kid play every single game, and you don't have to worry about goddamn money.
Mm-hmm.
Look at yourself in the mirror and say,
no,
I'm
they're
okay.
very fortunate, man.
Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm okay.
They're very fortunate. But, like, listen, that's got to be the worst case scenario for a team, too, man. You commit a contract and all this money to these guys, and if they don't perform, that's why, people always wonder, like, well, I wonder if he's feeling the stress of having to play at a certain level because of the big contract. Well, 100%.
Well, no shit.
It's like, these young kids that now start making the big time money.
Yeah.
They start pressing, man. They start hearing about the contract. It's all about the contract. It's human nature.
It is about the contract.
Yep.
No shit. But again, you know who I feel bad for? The guys that are down and out that don't have money.
Mm-hmm.
That can't go see their kid play. They can't afford it. They can't even go their kid can't even play because they can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the guys I get fucking. Not the ones that got chirped by the fucking fans because they didn't live up to their $40 million contract.
Right.
You're okay.
Yeah.
You're okay.
It's on them, though.
I know it's on them. Hell yeah. But I'm like, oh, God, Cam, don't you feel bad for these guys? Not really. Not really.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. I feel bad for the guy that spent all his money because he got caught up in fucking drugs.
Why would you feel bad for a guy that signed a $50 million deal and couldn't live up to it?
No.
I don't feel bad for him.
You are good to go. But but you know how fans are. You know how people are sometimes, especially in the media. So I feel bad for this professional player. He's just not living up to it, and he's taking a beating for the fans. So what?
He'll be okay.
He's going to be okay. Kid's healthy? Yeah, okay.
He's
going to be okay. Fuck me.
But that's why, I always say these coaches, man, they get fired 2 years into their deal.
There's this bigger...
And then
we get caught up in the sport
they sign
thing.
a 5-year deal, and they're going to get paid for another 3 or 4 years and not even have to work.
I think we get caught up in the sports thing so much and feel sorry for people and stuff like that because you're just obsessed with it. And you're like, I can't believe he just hasn't played well. I feel bad for him. He's going to be okay. He's going to be okay.
I've known a lot of guys, though, making the minimum who they try to keep up with the guys that are making $9 million, man.
Andy, it's hard not to.
And it's because they're cool guys, too.
Yeah.
And the guys that are making money, they want to hang out with him too, and they
Country club.
They just gravitate towards them.
Nice.
And in your mind, more so in the wife's mind.
Oh,
in the wife's mind, because they're friends with the wives.
Oh, Andy.
The wives are doing this, they're doing that, vacation,
ding, ding, ding.
new purse, all that,
ding, ding,
jewelry.
Ding.
And they're like, hey, so-and-so just bought this for their wife who's making $7.5, $8 million a year. You're making like $900, $750, whatever it is.
Big difference.
And you got to like, now your wife's got to keep up with the Jones.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. Put your goddamn foot down. She should know that.
Oh, no, they don't know.
No, then figure it out. I mean, Kate knew it. Hanging out with Marty every damn day, and Kovalchuk, and even Clarkie was making good money, and Colin White, who was making $4.5. Kate's not like, why don't we live there instead? She never did that because she's not dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't let that happen. Maybe a couple other girlfriends I had probably would think that way too, but Kate wasn't like that. That's on you.
Yeah,
Kate
but
control your broad.
You're a professional athlete.
Yeah, I know, and we're living good. They're a better professional athlete, so they live better.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes. God damn. It's like any podcast could go live by you in Ladue because you got a podcast. It doesn't work that way. Bad analogy, but whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the wives. My wife thinks I'm making money. Well, tell her you're not.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of Babcock getting back in?
I don't know.
Listen, I'm told that he's
I wouldn't.
That he's getting a 4-year deal. Other people are reaching out to be saying they're hearing that it's closer to a 2-year deal. I don't know why he would. I know he's desperate to get back in and wants to get back in. It's a perfect situation in like a low key market where he's not going to have any crazies. Tracking him down and following him around every day and reporting on every like little step that he makes and every mistake and every, it's like, well, look at the way he talked to him on the bench. He hasn't changed.
Yeah, I know.
He still hasn't changed. He's the same old Babs. It's like, it's going to be way under the radar.
Oh, he'll hide in there.
He'll hide
in Columbus, dude.
But it's like, probably a little bit of a desperation move on both sides, on the team side and on the coach's side of the situation.
Man. He's a smart man and he's a winner. And that young team, are they a young team?
I don't know.
I don't know. They're not. They're terrible. So sometimes you need to.
How come some teams just can never like win? What is it?
They just the Blues went through that for a long time.
No, but they were always good in the regular season.
Yeah, but they didn't win. They won 25 years in a row.
But they made the playoffs. You get a lot of these teams. Columbus, they don't even make the playoffs.
I know it's tough. It's tough. But the Blues took a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think. Somebody had a quote out the other day that, Vegas have been to 2 conference finals, maybe 3 conference finals, 2 Stanley Cup, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. They've only missed the playoffs once.
They missed the playoffs once. in 6 years.
They don't even know what it's like to fail.
They don't know, and the fans don't either.
No.
And then you go to Vancouver, been around for 52 years.
Yeah.
And they've made the conference final twice, Stanley Cup twice.
Mm-hmm. But lost.
And lost. Weird, horrible losses.
Horrible losses.
Depressing.
They were up 3-2 on Boston.
I think they're up 3-1.
Was it 3-1?
They might have been up 3-1.
I covered a couple of those games in that series.
You know what changed it?
I was at those games.
You know what changed the tide? Remember that in 2011? The hit. Remember
Nathan Horton?
Nathan Horton got rocked by, who's a big defenseman? Somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think it would change, but I think he got booted out of the game, got a 5-minute major, and I think that turned everything around. Gave him momentum.
I remember being at the game.
Who was that
in Boston during the final, and Nathan Horton, they would have a different player come out and like wave a rally towel or something like that right before the face-off drop to get the game going.
Yeah.
And the building would just like become like, crazy. And he came out like out of nowhere and just started waving the thing, and the fans went crazy.
You gotta get him on.
He doesn't do much, man.
Because we tried this before.
I talked to Luch about that recently too, man. Like, hey, you gotta get your boy on here. He's like, yeah, he didn't talk much.
Who fucked him up? Brody, who was that? That fucked up Nathan Horton. Aaron Rome. Yep, that's exactly what happened. And it turned the tides. And then Vancouver loses and they riot. They riot that city.
That couple made out in the street.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
They make money off that, you think?
Don't know. No, that was probably somebody else's images, so he couldn't probably get royalty off of that. You know? But that was fucking crazy. So, like, just look at these teams, man. Like, Toronto's going through it. Vancouver's going through it. Winnipeg, in a way, like, they're like, fuck, we need to get something going. Every Canadian team's like, what the fuck?
I know.
Like, imagine these poor Canadian
So
fans.
Babcock, though, it's like, it probably had to wait, obviously, for things to, like, contract-wise with Toronto in terms of the timing of it all.
Yeah.
And I guess that's when they're going to announce it, when his contract is officially expired with Toronto. So it's going to be a few more weeks before Columbus makes it official. But I hear Mike wants to get his son involved, Mike Babcock Jr.
Oh, Jesus. Junior?
And so I hear he's like an up-and-comer that, he wants to get him involved. But, the one thing that he's going to bring, though, that is missing from all these teams that lose is accountability.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure the Goudreaus and the Lines and the Roslovics and some of these guys, they're probably not all that excited about Mike Babcock coming in. But, when you don't meet expectations and you lose all the time, sometimes that's what you need. So I think it's probably a desperation move by Mike to accept this job, to go there to that market because he knows it's an opportunity for him to get back into the game. And it's a desperation move by Yarmo and JD and those guys with Columbus because it's like, hey, man, we tried to go the other direction with the players coach, and that didn't work. He was a longtime assistant, Brad Larson, who they made head coach. And that just didn't work. So now they want to bring in the hardcore disciplinarian
motherfucker
who, when a player, this is what you want. When a player fucks up during the game, you don't want it. It doesn't have to be the coach to have to go tell him or the manager to have to go tell him. Sometimes you need to create an environment where it's his teammates who are being the ones to go tell him.
Yeah. An older guy on the team like, dude, get the fuck going.
What are you doing?
Get going. You're fucking sleeping. And I'm sick of it.
But everyone's like, oh, Goudreau probably wishes he would have gone to New Jersey now. Listen, I've said this before. I'll say it again. If he had an 8 or a 7-year contract offer on the table from New Jersey, he probably takes it. He didn't have it.
Yeah, I know.
And he didn't have it from Philly either. And from what I understand, this was his only that's how you kind of land in Columbus. It's not like, oh, I just want to go to
money.
It's like, who's going to give you the most money? Who's putting the max deal on the table? And Columbus did it.
And that's it.
So if Jersey put a max deal on the table, like some people are saying, well, you should have gone to. No, Jersey didn't do that. They didn't do that. So
what about big boy Cole Caufield?
Yeah, I'm happy for him, man. It's going to be a great deal for Montreal, assuming that he's able to stay on this path and this trajectory. He's going to have to stay healthy.
Yeah, he's banged up a lot.
He's going to have to stay healthy. He's not a big guy, obviously, but he can score goals. And you look at some of the money other guys are making around the league, who have signed some of these deals. He got less than Hughes. He may have gotten slightly more than Svechnikov, right? If memory serves me right, he's somewhere just over $7 million.
Who would you rather have?
He got just under Suzuki, so they probably had an internal cap there in Montreal.
Yeah.
He got less than Thomas and Kyrou.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
You know?
Who would you rather have, Caufield or Robert Thomas?
Robert Thomas.
Okay, Cole Caufield or Svechnikov?
I mean, listen.
Really?
The reality is people don't know how good Svechnikov is.
No, he's 100%. I'd take him over Thomas and everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would take Svechnikov in a heartbeat.
I'm saying.
And I love Cole Caufield, man, because of his ability to score goals, and he can shoot the puck, and he's like,
He's good, dude. He's a good player. He's a damn good player. But Svechnikov,
and I'd take Jack Hughes over Cole Caufield.
I would too.
I'd take Tage Thompson over Caufield.
Yeah. So Cole Caufield or Jordan Kyrou?
You know what? The jury's still out on this one.
Yeah.
Because I know, listen, let me give you an example. I thought about this the other day. I'm glad you brought this up. Because everyone is, they like to trash Jordan Kyrou. And he's going to have to figure it out. He's going to have to figure it out. These guys are going to have to learn how to play the game. But when I see a guy like Jack Eichel playing the way that he's playing right now, that tells me that you can change. I'm not a big believer that, sacrifice some offense by playing a more, balanced, more committed two-way game. It doesn't work. You don't have to sacrifice offense just because you're expected to back check. No one's expecting, Jordan Kyrou to go out there and try to win, the Selke. Like, you didn't have to do that. But sometimes you got to win a battle.
You got to balance it more, though.
You got to win a battle. You got to back check. You got to have some awareness defensively. And so
you got to make things happen.
That obviously has been, part of the, learning curve for him. And I would assume he's going to be better in that area. Eventually, it's going to become a storyline, Cam, where he's going to have some games, and people are going to be like, wow, look at the way he, competed inside his own end, and he won battles along the wall, and he made some plays. He came back and back check and broke up an odd man rush or whatever. He's, getting a stick in the lane. He will learn. It's just a matter of if he wants to do it or not. So if he wants to do it, then you obviously can. Like, he's a smart player. He's playing in the NHL. Whether or not he wants to do it, I guess we're going to find out. But Jack Eichel wants to win a Stanley Cup. You could make the case that he is among the leaders in the clubhouse for the Vezina Trophy. Could you not Vezina, for the Conn Smythe? Could you imagine if Buffalo loses two guys that go on to win the Conn Smythe?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but you got a guy you got some good things going up in Buffalo right now.
Dude.
Yes. You got some fun things. You got some guys that are unbelievable.
No, they're in a great spot. And the reality
I want them to be in a better spot.
And the reality is they're better without Jack Eichel because he didn't want to be there. They're better without Ryan O'Reilly because he didn't want to be there.
Yeah, exactly. What Gary Bettman say the other day? Anything newsworthy? Did he say that they're trying to figure out another plan for Arizona, staying in Arizona, Andy? Like, is that something?
I said it at the very beginning, and I think you're starting to hear more about this right now, that the focus internally, I think at the league level and with Arizona, if it doesn't work out, because Arizona's like, it's okay. Now we're going to go to like the other towns around Arizona, and we're going to see if they're interested. It's like,
they're so embarrassing.
Well, their Twitter account, when they were saying right off the bat, like, where should we move? Should we move to this town, that? Like, not outside of Arizona. They were talking about like different municipalities inside Arizona. I'm like, you guys just need to pump the brakes.
They also did something like, hey, guys, we got some news for you, or something like that.
If we get 25,000 likes, we'll tell you.
Whoa, that is such a corny fuck thing to do.
Like, what do you think of that, honestly? They did that twice now.
Because you're making the fans think, you're insinuating that the fans are fucking stupid. Hey, I'll give you an update on what's going on. No, you're not. There's nothing going on. Mm-hmm. You didn't give an update on anything. So you use the fans which you desperately need anyway, to click on things and whatnot. But then they're like, go fuck yourself. Mm-hmm. They're in a weird jam, dude. Everything about that whole situation is fucked up.
I don't blame Gary Bettman for like saying, hey, we got to give it one more chance to try to make it work.
Do you?
Well, it's one of the bigger.
They don't want you.
It's one of the bigger markets in the NHL. It's one of the bigger markets in America. It's a beautiful place.
It is.
Like, you're there. Like, how come it can't work in, Phoenix, Arizona?
I don't know, but it's not.
So the focus has been Salt Lake City, and I feel like if they're going to leave, then they're going to go there. I can't imagine Gary wanting to move a team to relocate to a city that he feels like he has in his back pocket as a potential expansion team, because that expansion fee means so much to the owners and the league. I'm sure there's a relocation fee as well, but obviously probably not as much as what you would find with an expansion fee. So we'll see what happens with the Coyotes.
Jesus.
But just the Twitter account needs to calm down a little bit.
Fucking 13-year-old kid with a Twitter account.
Like,
Coyotes.
Don't get like you're the embarrassment of the NHL right now. Everyone's laughing at you, and don't be like cute on Twitter.
Cute, yeah. Actually, be a dick, if anything. I'd rather be a dick than cutesy.
If we get 25,000 likes, don't try to, increase your, social media following for stupid ass information. Let us know when you actually
do something.
Are going to do something.
Like
something's going to happen.
Like somebody signed somebody for a 7-year deal as a GM.
And you get somebody to play with Keller.
Yeah, I know.
You make the playoffs. When you're not playing in like a practice facility.
When you're playing in front of 15
when you can sell
7-year-olds
a 5,000 seat arena.
They like the fans are like, what did I walk into? I thought the college team was playing. Like, who are these guys?
Arizona State.
Coyotes. Who are these guys? How about Doobie? 7 fucking years? 7?
What do you think?
What does he have?
Pittsburgh is looking at the Fenway Group, where they could say, we want to commit our entire franchise future to Doobie-Doo.
Were they like, I liked what Doobie did.
I like how he lost.
I like how he lost every fucking round.
I like how he signed terrible contracts.
I know. Now, he made some moves like getting guys to go there, Ryan O'Reilly and stuff like that, but you put yourself in I know, but it didn't work. Still didn't work.
Well, it got him out of the first round. Ryan O'Reilly got him out. But that's like it's not that difficult of a trade to make. If you got Ryan O'Reilly available, they gave up a first to get him.
And
I get it.
I still want to give a little bit of credit.
Correct.
Because we do chirp him a lot.
He made the move. He's tried to make other moves, I keep reading on Twitter, like, should the Leafs bring back Luke Schenn? It's like, listen, I like Luke Schenn.
I like Lukey, man.
Okay, but that's not really your biggest area of concern right now.
The first thing the Leafs need to do is sign Luke Schenn.
Right away.
Okay. Sign him.
But,
$800,000.
It's amazing when you go to Toronto and you work there and you get the media on your side, how that can just set you up for not only the next job, but really for the rest of your career. So what do you
think they were thinking when they evaluated Kyle Dubas, Andy, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they're like, this is what I like about him. Yoink, 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 yoink. 7-year fucking deal. Like, what is that? What did they say? What do you think they said that they liked about him?
Some guys, Cam, and you've seen it, have that ability to make that first impression. First off, the guy who introduced him at the press conference he didn't know how to say his last name. He called him Dubas. So, Kyle Dubas, did you hear that? The guy who hires him at the podium, making the introduction, we'd like to introduce the newest president of hockey for the Pittsburgh Penguins, Kyle Dubas.
Okay.
And he's like, listen, I will say I got people who I try to get some positive information about Kyle Dubas from other people. And when they talk about Dubas, they're not like, this guy is great at this or that or this or that. I don't know what he's good at. Like,
what
I don't think he's some like, he has the ability to convince people. Like, he's a politician kind of, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't think he's like this super intellectual hockey guru. Like, he just like knows the game so well. I just don't see that.
I don't know.
And so, like, now it's funny because he's the president, and he's saying he'll probably hire a general manager, or if he does, he won't do it till after free agency. Meaning, like, I'll hire them like after I make
every important decision. Exactly.
And I could see him.
Dubai.
I could see Dubas being the first person to hire a female general manager.
It's not funny. You're right, Andy. You're probably right on that.
I'm serious.
No, I believe you.
Because he
believe you.
A lot of like, he had a lot of diversity in his whatever, and he's really into inclusion and all of that, which is not a bad thing. So don't read into that.
Unless they're not good at their job, but go ahead.
It would not surprise me. He's either going to hire, listen, he's going to hire a manager And I'm not going to sit here and say I wouldn't do the same thing. That I wouldn't, if I was president of hockey, they wanted me to hire a GM, I would want to hire somebody that I could control.
No doubt. So you think it's going to be a woman?
Or like a Jason Spezza who's got like no experience.
Yeah, okay. I get that. I get what you're saying. No,
like,
he'll do something
he's
out of the
not
ordinary.
bringing in somebody who's been a general manager and had a lot of success as a GM. I just don't see that. It's like, listen, Jeff Gorton in Montreal. You know, this guy was a GM, obviously.
Great dude.
Great guy, and you know he needed to bring somebody in who was bilingual and could communicate with the French media and whatever.
I get that.
So he brought in Kent Hughes, who we've had on the show.
I like
was
him
an
too.
Awesome interview.
Yeah, he was great.
Great guy. Very successful agent for many, many years. Had Patrice Bergeron and a number of other players. Vinny Lecavalier, I believe. And but you know what? He's bringing in a guy with like no previous or prior managerial experience, so he could still kind of be that general manager, if you will, even though he's got the president title. You know, it's you look at Jim Rutherford in Vancouver. I mean, this guy's still the spokesperson for the franchise. He wants to change that a little bit, but he brings on a lesser-known general manager that he could probably control. So Kyle Dubas is not going to be any different. He's not going to be any different here, you know, than what those guys did. It would not surprise me if he was the first person to ever hire
a woman,
a female general manager, or if he brings on somebody like Jason Spezza, who he's tight with, who he's worked with, you know, who doesn't have a lot of experience. Now, there's also the guy, Brandon Pridham, who was who he was working with in Toronto, who kind of was the interim general manager until they brought in Brad Treliving, who now, I will say this, man, I like Tree.
I like what you posted some on Twitter about Tree, who said, I believe it was something to the effect of, it's not about the fucking core four. Mm-hmm. It's about everybody together. Right. It's about the fucking team.
Right.
I need to make the team better.
That's right.
Like, fuck off.
Because
it's a team fucking thing. God.
I look at it two ways, Ken. Because the reality is, of course, it's about the core four. Like, they're the highest paid players. Like, the team will not be good if they're not good.
Of course.
And if they're not leading the way. But the media's obsession, like he even said some things. Listen, I appreciate how much interest there is in this franchise and the fan base we have and how everybody loves the league. I love that. But we got to build a team here.
No shit.
We got to put together a team. We can't just cater to certain individuals or make it all about one or two or three or four individuals. That's not going to help us be successful.
And it hasn't.
You know what who his dad is? Brad Treliving.
Who?
His dad is like a billionaire who's the founder of Boston Pizza up in Canada.
Oh, wow.
And he was on all those, he's like the Canadian version of Shark Tank. He's one of the guys.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Smart.
So he's smart.
Yeah.
But he'll be great with the media there as long as they treat him fairly. I just hope they don't start attacking him eventually.
Well, is he going to try to fight fans during a game?
No.
Is he going to yell and throw things and be obnoxious and be nerdy? No, he's not.
No.
He's going to be fucking cool. He's going to be chill. He's going to try to put the best product on the ice. Mm-hmm. That's what the fuck he's going to do. None of all the other bullshit matters. Mm-hmm. He's going to sit there. He's going to be stoic and he's going to get things done. I like that guy. Mm-hmm. Not like a 25-year-old frat kid yelling at fucking fans. And those fans would have fucked you up, Dubas. Good God, he's annoying. I'm sorry, Leaf fan. I love all you guys, man, and girls. I truly do. He annoyed the fuck out of me. Like he did, dude. I grew up with fucking Lou in the Army. I don't play that bullshit fucking yelling at people fucking shit. Never fought anybody in your life yelling at fans like you're going to fight them. Sit down.
You want to know who a chill GM is?
Who?
Ronny Francis.
Oh, God. That's my dog, dude. He was cool as fuck with us.
This guy's like, you don't see him.
He's so awesome.
He's like,
he gets
he's the opposite of Dubas.
Exactly. Dubas. God. How many names do we have for that guy?
Dubas. The guy who runs Fenway introduces
Jesus
him
Christ.
as Kyle Dubas.
So embarrassing. 7 years.
7 years.
How much money?
Why don't we give him 20 years?
Give him 40 years. He's a young kid. He's 22 years old. You might as well give him 40 years.
Can we just give you a 50-year deal, a lifetime contract?
Jesus. Dubas. How much money is he making? 5?
Okay, now, let me
What's he making?
Oh, he's probably making more than that.
Really?
Here's my prediction.
Almighty.
Now I will say Sidney Crosby will not finish his career or retire as a Pittsburgh Penguin.
Wow, Andy Strickland. We're quoting that off, and we're going to tweet it out, dude. You think so?
I think now he's going to be like, unless they really do something this year, I feel like he's going to be like, it's just going to create an atmosphere and environment. Sidney is all about winning.
Yeah.
Sidney wants to win.
That's it.
And he's not into all the other charades. I'm sure he'll head it off with Dubas because Dubas is going to give him whatever he wants. Sidney,
what do you need, Sidney? I want to win.
Hey, guys, can I wait? I'm talking to Sidney.
Yeah, talking to Sidney. Everybody, get out. I got to talk to Sidney real quick. Thank you.
What do you need? Let me ask Sidney.
I know. Look, we're chirping him hardcore. I do think that other GMs that are somewhat successful in the league that might be older than Dubas are like, you gave that motherfucker 7
years.
Motherfucking years. Is that the longest contract for a GM?
It's got to be.
It's got to be, Andy. That's outrageous.
Why? It's outrageous.
For what? I thought he was going to be demoted.
Do you think he had this
planned out
under
the wraps?
Under wraps,
maybe 7. You got to know
before he was officially fired.
Hey, fuck! You got to know that they had to know that Dubas was in the jam, just like we all.
But what
did.
about his family?
Oh, his family. What about him?
Remember, he was saying like he was concerned. Like,
of course, yeah. I mean, okay, all right. What about
there were some concerns about the family, which is why he said he would. It's either Toronto or nowhere.
Yeah, no, he just bullshitted his way out, and you don't think that he knew something was up. They gave you 7 years.
That's why
you had to have known something.
Hey, that's why you have agents.
7 years.
That's why you have agents to like talk to people and whatever. There's some talk that who knows what's going on with the Rangers that maybe they're just waiting to see.
With Lavi? Anything with Lavi?
I don't know. It seemed like Laviolette was going there. That's what it felt like.
And by the way, Babcock, we had Babcock on too, guys. If you guys want to go back and listen to that interview, it was damn good. Mike Babcock.
Oh, dude, everybody should go back and listen to that. It was hilarious.
He was actually.
I'm actually kind of pulling for Babs in a weird way, man.
Dude, he came on our podcast while he's golfing with Hitch.
Yeah.
And gave us an hour.
I know.
And you asked him hardcore questions.
Hardcore.
And he answered everything.
He's like sweating.
Dude, I like Mike Babcock.
Hitch is grabbing the phone from him.
We love you, Mike Commodore, and I get why you would hate him, but he didn't do that to me, and he didn't do that to you. And
he tried to fight me one time.
Yeah, but that's gone now.
He tried to beat me up.
But that's gone now.
He wanted to like really hurt me.
Yeah, but he came on our pod for an hour. We like him now.
And
that's how it works.
I would have been a very wealthy man. I would not have had to go into real estate.
Yeah, real estate and NASA, and I don't know what else you want to do. Oh, you want to be an actor? Bodybuilder?
Oh, yeah, I want to be an actor.
You want to be a barbecue pitmaster?
Comedian.
Jesus. And he wants to do everything but what he does. Which he's successful.
But we're first form influencers.
Yeah, we certainly are. God, was I horny after that thing. I know. I don't mean to say that to all y'all. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you go to like a swim party, and my wife wasn't there, and I haven't been to an establishment with that many good looking girls in a long time. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, motherfucker. I'm
gonna take you out around
good-looking women.
A couple places.
I don't do anything. I don't like. I like to chill, man. Like that's I just like to chill. And I do get uncomfortable if my wife's not there and you're talking to girls and stuff like that. Not that we're flirty, but I just feel like I don't want anybody taking a picture of us.
Hey, you know who moved back to St. Louis?
What?
Full time.
What?
Benny Bishop.
Oh, good.
Welcome back to town.
Love Benny Bishop, man. I bet you he's just chilling.
He's another example of an interview we did.
He was great.
During COVID.
Oh, God.
It was a COVID call.
COVID interview. Ugh. Eric Lindros COVID interview.
Where we had to be like in separate spaces.
And he's texting me.
Hey, we're like 30 minutes apart. Is that enough distance?
Fuck. Yeah, dude. We should have just went to the studio at that point anyway, because we're going to get COVID anyway. But excuse me.
You have it right now.
No, I just swallowed my beer in a weird way. But
yoink.
We got Eric Lindros on. I couldn't see Andy. Andy's texting me the whole time about questions. I fucked that interview up. So we had the Big E on, man, and I kind of fucked the whole thing up. I'm sorry. But where I'm in my office, you're in your office. Like there's a delay. E's not really into it.
We're like texting. Okay, you go. You get the next question.
Go.
I got
I'm like, okay, I'll go. Okay, so Big E, I remember playing against you in 2002.
And he's like, no, that wasn't me.
No, that wasn't me. I'm like, fuck, that was Jeremy Roenick. I'm like, oh God, I'm fucking stupid. You know, but yeah, it is what it is, man. We still entertained all y'all. It's all good, baby. No big deal. Man, I did see a fucking horrible disaster in India. Fucking India, man.
What happened? I didn't talk.
Fucking
I
train.
didn't ask
Listen,
my neighbor about
India.
this.
Listen, look up India. Smart people.
Very smart.
Now, very overpopulated. Lot of slum.
Depends where you're going.
Fucking go to New Delhi. Are you kidding me? In India, over 1 billion people live in India, homie.
That's not what Praveen
Not up in the north where the mountains are and stuff like that. But in the cities,
that's like Nepal.
Mumbai. I mean, yeah, I know. Up in yeah, it actually becomes really pretty.
I love Nepal.
That's where India has tigers, fucking all kind.
In Nepal,
the tigers I think are more in the southern part because they don't. Now Siberian tigers, I guess they could go in the cold, but India's so big. But they had a train wreck the other day. If you go on YouTube and you look up railroad transportation in India, you'll be like, this is fucking chaos.
So smart. Oh.
What?
Oh. I thought
Jesus,
you were
Andy, keep up with the conversation.
I thought you were going to say it was like amazing.
No, go look at how they have to go from point A to point B every single morning in these big ass cities in India.
Really?
They cram on so much like sardines in these trains, and there's people on top of the trains sitting and going from point A to point B. There was a fucking collision yesterday in India. It killed over 300 people. They went the train tracks are so overpopulated. They fucked up. They had 2 trains running into each other. And then another train came in, and they didn't switch the thing up, and they went right into it too.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
300 people.
At least.
Were there any survivors?
Well, yeah, there's always going to be survivors because they're packed like 1 billion people on those. God, look that up on YouTube, guys. How India and the train transportation is and how overpopulated it is. It's fucking nuts, man.
Nuts. A lot of doctors come from there, too.
Big time, dude.
Why do you think that is?
Because they're smart. They're very educated.
You know, like I think it's Nepal, maybe in India, too. Like, they don't use toilet paper.
I believe that's Afghanistan.
No, they use their hand. Like, they put their hand in water. They'll have, like, little water cups.
I know, Andy.
No, I'm just saying.
And they wipe their ass with their hand, and their right hand. That's why they don't shake hands.
That's why they don't shake hands with their right hand.
That's Afghanistan, homie.
No, it's India, too.
India's pretty gross, man. And you'd fit in perfect because everybody wears sandals there, and their toenails are 6 feet long like yours. Nasty looking. Sandals are so goddamn goofy.
Like man-made clothing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just so overpopulated. The Ganges River. Look up the documentary on
what's inside there? It's snakes.
No, it's pollution. The most polluted river in the world is called the Ganges River in India.
Genghis Khan?
No, maybe it has something to do with it. Don't know. But they swim, they fish.
Who does?
They drink that water. Indian people.
Then throw up everywhere.
No, their body's used to it. They will wash their clothes and there's dead bodies floating down. There's chemical factories.
Bodies floating down the river?
Yes, it's the most contaminated water ever, and these people swim and bathe in it every day.
And they won't even. And
they live for a long time.
If they see a body or anything, they're just well,
yes,
move it along.
Yeah, it's called the Ganges River. Really interesting.
Is there anything on Netflix about this?
Yeah. No, just go on YouTube, dude. 2 seconds.
I'll check that out.
Damn right. I like looking at stuff up. It's very interesting.
Did you see the movie Air, Michael Jordan?
No, not yet.
It was a great movie.
I saw The Last Dance, and that was awesome.
No, this is not The Last.
I know
this is not The Last. This is a different than The Last Dance.
I know
this is called Air.
The business side of it.
This is about how they signed Michael Jordan to a Nike contract.
Yeah, and
Ben Affleck plays Phil Knight.
Yeah. I could watch that.
Sonny Vaccaro is played by Matt Damon. I want to be like Sonny Vaccaro.
You want to be everything.
I think it'd be.
You need to just be you.
I think
accept it.
I think that'd be a cool ass job to be able to sign athletes to lucrative endorsement deals.
No shit. Especially, yeah. No shit. And why don't you sign some people?
They would love you when you walk into the room. Oh shit! There's Andy. Come on, sit next to me.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Well, yeah. No, fucking A. And didn't Magic Johnson turn down Nike? Didn't he turn down the big deal from Nike? Because Nike went.
He went to Converse.
Yeah, I know, but he had the and then
Converse had everybody back then.
Yeah, but
they had Larry. They had Michael.
But look what
they had.
But look what Michael did.
They had what's his name? Julius Erving, Dr. J.
Dr. J. With that little hook shot.
Who's going to be the first hockey player with a shoe?
Austin Matthews.
Air Dubas.
Probably Kyle Dubas. Kyle Dubas is taking all the fucking sponsors away from the players so he can have them because he thinks that he's the best player on the team. He's a GM that makes more money than a lot of guys. He's probably a better athlete than everybody. He probably thinks that. He's like, I need to get the endorsements. What are we doing?
Pittsburgh's not in great shape. I will say that.
No shit.
All right, let's get to Ronny Francis. Great career, by the way. Hall of Fame player, in case you didn't know, Cam.
Fuck, he looks good, man.
2-time Stanley Cup winner.
I had to tell him that, too. Yo, you age good, man. You look good.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it is?
He's probably healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he just signed a new contract extension.
Yes, he did.
See, listen.
And funny how that works.
Here's the difference. Yeah, Ronny Francis, one of the best players of his era.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer. Takes an expansion team, gets them to the second round, very close, one game away from the conference final, and he signs a 3-year contract extension.
3 years, Andy. He's a goddamn
Doug Armstrong
Hall of
signed
Famer.
a 5-year deal.
And he was, yeah. I mean, it's just, it's unbelievable.
Let's give Dubas 7 years.
Give him 50.
Hey, all you GMs out there, winning doesn't matter.
No. It's about being cool and yelling at people and throwing your water bottle like Cam Neely. Although Cam Neely knows how to throw. Dubas doesn't.
Cam's he's a president just like Dubas.
Remember when Cam Neely threw it, though? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's kind of scary.
Why would Pittsburgh be like, we want this guy so bad? Let's give him
What's
the
want?
7 years.
What's the want? The analytic stuff?
I guess.
What is that?
I don't know.
You could have some 14-year-old kid do that. It's all about analytics. Have somebody crunch the numbers. You got paying this guy fucking 7 years.
Dubas.
My God. What the fuck does he have on you?
So, again, Mike Babcock signs. I was told 4 years. I've also been told 2 years. So I don't know.
I hope it's 4. I want him to be there.
And I've also heard it was $4 million per year.
Okay. That's about right.
He has won. His reputation really took a hit. But, again, this is what happens when you go to Toronto, man. Everything just gets blown out of proportion one way or another. But it took place in Detroit as well. I was never a huge fan of his. And
Modo and all that.
Now we're going to find out. Because the reality is, if you bring in Mike Pat, you don't want him to change too much. I mean, they never change, Cam.
I know. They don't.
They don't change.
They might chill a little bit.
Can he show the ability to relate and work with individual players better than what he's shown in the past? It's more about the individual relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know what?
But he's a smart hockey coach.
Yeah, he is. And remember, he took shit for the Mitchie Marnie thing, But now I look at Andy, and I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, fuck that.
With Mitchie?
With Mitchie. I'm like, nah. Call his ass out. I don't.
He's probably like, Mitchie Marnie, like, you're not doing what you need to be doing.
Yeah. Get in there.
And all your teammates know it.
Yeah, I'm going to call you out.
But then Dubas gives him $11 million.
And as a winger, like, you didn't have to do that.
I know.
You gave him the max. There was no negotiation. So he walked all over you. How is that appealing to Pittsburgh? How is that?
It's like, Sidney, we'd like to give you a contract extension.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Yeah, but my contract's not up yet, Dubas.
Well, we're still.
That's okay. I'm still going to give you one.
$15 million a year.
Or do you want more than that?
Here, we can only go to 15 as far as like we're here. That's
you want
the
15? I was thinking about 18. I want to give you 18.
Okay, here's 18. It's like there was no negotiation. Wow, we got him. We didn't negotiate. You could have got him for 9.5. 9.
Is Hockey Canada screaming for Dubas to be the GM of the next Olympic team? Like, is his reputation that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Is he even on the radar?
You think some of these GMs are like, this motherfucker?
Probably.
This guy got 7-year deal.
Listen,
I've been winning.
I don't want to call him out too badly, but I will say
too late.
There's no proof that he really.
I know. What were the negotiations?
Like, he's not like next level. You give like a general manager. Like, Steve Yzerman's not even getting a 7-year deal.
I don't get it. I don't get it. there's something more to it, and I don't understand. But that's all good. We're asking. Why don't you guys tell us?
I don't know.
Let us know. And let us know if we're too hard on Dubas.
Let us know what we don't know.
Let us know what we don't know. If you guys know, let us know.
Let us know.
But we're just like, what the
We
fuck?
could have some big news coming out of the Chicago Blackhawks, too. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay, that's all good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all good.
We'll just leave it at that.
No big deal.
Not,
Nick just texted us.
Not at Liberty. Nick
First
Form
Nick.
Nick.
The sweetest, nicest.
Nobody pulls
best.
off the satchel like
he's got a satchel on. Girls are staring
tank tops.
at him.
Every girl's coming up being like, "Hi, Nick."
No, but he's nice.
Right.
And so like I want you guys to follow him too. Not only First Form and Andy and I and Brody and all that stuff, but Nick too. Like Nick's always on and he'll tell you exactly what he's doing.
Nick.
Follow him, man. Nick Clements.
It's Clements, dude. You don't
What
even know
am
how
I
to
saying
say his
wrong?
last
What
name.
am I
You said this the whole night. He's like, yeah, we're here with Nick Clements.
What is it, Clements?
And they're like, who? We don't know him. I'm like, it's Clements. And they're like,
Oh,
yeah,
big
Clements.
fuck deal.
Yeah, we know that.
Dubas.
Clements.
No, Nicky Boy, man. I'm telling you.
That's how Cam would introduce Nick at his introductory press conference.
Nicky Boy, Clements.
We have Nick Clements.
I know. I'd fuck that up. That's why I don't do that stuff. But anyway, check out First Form. Check out Nick and all that. He'll tell you exactly what he does after workouts and stuff, man. Like he
it's the
mixing
app.
everything in. The app's there.
He said he was going to
everything.
eat bad food that night, though.
He said he's going to eat a whole pizza. He's been working his ass
Oh, my
off,
God, dude. He's doing all these, like, challenges. He
I
went
know.
out to Arizona, dude. He packed dumbbells. He's, like, hiking mountains with a weighted vest on.
That's what they do, man. That's what they do.
That's what I do.
No, you don't. I don't do that.
I'm thinking about getting one of those weighted vests.
Why don't you just get everything? Get everything. You get a weighted vest.
Just walk around with it.
Yeah, I used to do that when I was playing stuff.
That's what Yager would
I'd
do.
skate around and
Would you?
my rollerblades on with weighted vest on in the neighborhood, toe dragging cougars. Fuck yeah, dude.
Really?
I look.
Did you
badass.
notice a difference?
Yeah, your weight shifts different ways, so
Oh,
you gotta
cool.
get your edges better and stuff like that. You know all about that.
Yeah.
Andy.
First Form, though. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. That's the link.
That's the link.
You have to know the link. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Go there today and check out. Listen, I just got a nice package in the mail. Got some new shorts. And I got those fruits and the greens, man,
Yeah, I
which
got a bunch of new
starts
clothes.
my day off the way that it should start off.
Kate makes me a smoothie every single morning with frozen fruit and, of course,
Yeah, but she makes it the
protein.
night before, so
Yeah, it puts it in the fridge in the
don't
First
know.
Form thing.
Is it still good in the morning?
Oh, it's frozen, dude. It's in the First Form container, so it's
Yeah.
I have to shake it up and put more water in it.
Really?
Just to get it
What are you
liquid.
doing to it? You
We
should
put ice in there. She puts it in.
Oh,
What do you think I do? See, Andy doesn't know. Andy doesn't know.
I know how
about
to
it.
make smoothies.
Andy
Dude.
doesn't know too much about like drinking protein and stuff like that because he's really wasn't an athlete, and I had to do that all the time. So I'd always make protein shakes and stuff. So you asked me this question, like, what do I do with that?
This wasn't a protein shake. This was a
Yes, it is.
This is a smoothie. You
It's
said.
a protein fucking smoothie.
Well, you didn't say that.
It's a protein shake in the morning.
This guy's barbecuing.
No, Andy's a one upper. Andy's a one
No,
upper. No, you are.
I
You're
know
a one upper.
Cam,
Dude.
I know one upper.
You're one upper.
I know.
I like the barbecue. I'm Traeger. I did do it. Okay.
I'm a Traeger ambassador.
Tornadoes. I'm going to text the Weather Channel and show them that there's wind in my backyard.
They put me all over the
mean,
freaking
good
news, national
God.
news.
Everything I like, he likes it better. Or he's better at it, or he knows more about it.
Oh, how was it inside the Volvo the other day, the racing series?
It's a normal car.
I'm putting in the
normal.
address
It's
into
normal.
the navigation system, so I know where to go. Cam's like losing his mind because I'm trying to plug in the
I'm
address.
a backseat driving motherfucker.
And he like won't stop talking. I'm like, just let me just do my thing, dude. I got to put the address in.
It's place is right goddamn there. Just go. Good God.
It was like 500.
I'm already
feet
nervous
away.
enough.
It was 500 feet away.
I look like shit. There's going to be jack people everywhere. I'm like, fuck, just get there. Let's go. Once you walk in and see everybody, you met up with Nikki and his girl, who's lovely. We were all cool, but it's very intimidating. God, if I was a young lad playing for the Blues back in the day and First Form was around, I would be going to those parties, dude. 4 days in a row with my buddies. No doubt about it.
So like
with no fucking shirt on, just so you know. I'd be walking around just like everybody. I had my aviators on. I'd be cut up and just try to wheel everything. Because the girls there were, oh, God. You had no idea about tornadoes until I started talking about now you love tornadoes.
Or I had like
tornado
a
chaser.
pair of Jordan. I wore my Jordans the other day.
Yeah, you look cool in them.
You told me they look good.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, and he knows how to dress for the most part until he wears these stupid ass sandals, and his feet are. You kind of need a pedicure, homie. If you're
Never
gonna do
had
that,
one.
Get
Is that
one.
okay to go get one?
Fuck yeah.
Really?
A pedicure?
All right.
Damn right. For your nasty ass feet you have.
I'll take some videos.
Quit showing your. It's like a woman who's obese that wears tight stuff and shows it off. Why would you show off your feet? They look terrible.
No, they're getting tan.
No, they're not.
Get that tan line already on.
No,
there.
just feet are gross anyway. Like, put some fucking shoes on.
I'll get some new flip.
You're not in a beach, and even wearing sandals on the beach is stupid.
Hey, we met a guy at the First Form event who lost 85 pounds. I'll give him a shout out right now.
Damn right.
From First Form and using our app, firstform.com/Cam Strick.
We knew a lot of people.
You want to use our app? You want to lose 85? If you don't need to lose 85, it's all good. You can still get plenty of stuff that are going to help you feel good, live good, sleep well, all of that.
Damn good.
Firstform.com/Cam Strick. All right, the Cam Strick podcast is brought to you by Hair Club and hairclub.com, Cam. They've got that pill, man, that'll take you to the next level. They've got locations all over North America, including for our Canadian audience. They've got locations in Canada, Montreal, Vancouver, all over. I heard from a number of my people in Saskatchewan, Alberta. I'm talking to people all over. PEI, Ontario, Quebec. Congrats to the Quebec Remparts. They had like fans like camped out outside of the arena watching the game on the big screen.
Oh, got to get an NHL team there.
For the Memorial Cup.
Yoink.
That's how much they're into junior hockey there. I was explaining to Cam, or to Ty. I'm like, dude, look at this.
Quebec, man.
They love, it's like little miniature NHL teams.
Well, fuck, that's the best players in the world at under 21. What do you expect? I played in Memorial Cup in Kelowna. Fought DJ King.
Did you play in the games?
What?
Were you playing like you had like a significant role on the team at that time?
In juniors?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Jesus, Andy thinks I'm a fucking child. Like he doesn't even know.
No, I don't.
Like, he talks to me like I'm a child.
Would you have been on third line?
Yeah, I was with me and Jacob Corries and Kyle Spur.
Did you score a goal at the Memorial Cup?
No, but I scored big time goals throughout that
you
whole
did,
process.
in Game 7 too.
Yeah. And I fuck guys up.
I know
you
you
take
did.
stupid penalties.
You
although
fought
I did.
DJ King at the Memorial Cup.
Yeah, with my dyed hair.
Did you see Corey Stillman's son?
Yeah, that was a knockout hit and then a knockout. It was badass.
We're gonna get Corey on.
Yeah, get Corey on. I
Corey's
like him
my boy, man.
Yeah.
Listen, he played for the Blues. You know, I got to know him pretty well when he played here. I ran into him at the draft 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer. In line at a Starbucks inside the hotel. He told me all about his kids, dude. And now he's got 2 playing in the NHL.
Knocked that cat right out with a big hit and then a punch. Jesus Christ. Chase
and
Stillman,
Corey was not like that, dude.
No, Corey was just a skilled two-way player. Hey, Chase Stillman, giving you a shout-out, homie. You look goddamn cool, buddy. Little shout-out for you, big boy. Good for you, man.
I haven't seen a player get punched on the button like that in a long time, Ken.
Yeah, that was a button call, baby. Get that goddamn
You ever get somebody
chin
like that?
Yeah.
Right on the button? Like most people you were fighting like knew how to fight.
Yeah, the most people I fought were way bigger than me, but I knocked a couple.
No,
cats
I'm
out.
just saying they just knew how to fight. They weren't gonna like get punched.
Eat
like
one
that.
like that.
No.
I've rocked guys so hard.
You ever get punched in the face like that?
Yeah, Andy. I mean, Andy again looks at me like I'm a fucking I'm Ty's
Who
friend.
punched you in the face like that?
Everybody did.
Yeah, no, not everybody.
Oh, I got caught. Look at this. Look up something.
Like square in the face.
Yes, dude.
Would
I
that
had a mouthpiece.
How bad did that hurt?
Depends if it really caught you.
You know, I hear the worst ones are the ones that get you in the ear.
It could be anywhere. The back of the head. It could be the ear. It could be the jaw.
What about the
nose.
ribs?
Fuck that. Hit me all you want in the ribs. Fucking cut up. I'll break your hand. Hit me in my fucking.
You ever go for the
badass.
body?
No. I'm throwing uppercuts. I get the body shots.
Bottom of the jaw. Dude.
Bottom of the jaw will fuck you up. Temple will fuck you up. Eye socket will fuck you up. Nose will fuck you up. Right in the teeth will fuck you up.
They all want to cancel fighting in junior hockey, yet that video
Went
viral, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Hair Club and hairclub.com, Cam, your advice to anybody who is maybe dealing with some hair loss.
Just walk in the door and get a consultation going, dude. It's the easiest fucking thing in the world. And not only they have that pill, but they got the artist robot, which will just like plug out your big.
Wait a minute.
Let me talk.
Is that? No, explain that.
I will. It's the artist robot. And that's what it did my hair the first time. And that's why I still have hair in my front.
It looks good today. You got to keep it short.
Yeah,
I'm
going to. No, I told you I went to the old man, not the women. And
was his hand bleeding?
No, but my ears were a little bit because he cut my ear one time. I'd rather just suck that up than have 4 women
Where's he
surrounding
located?
around me talking about
Is he in
Tom
Eureka
Brady.
or is he?
Yeah, right downtown Eureka.
Is that where your dad goes?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, man.
Right.
I take care of my people.
Tell us about the robotic.
Artist robot. That's what did. You sit in a chair with you, and this robot goes yoink 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 yoink.
Are you
yoink.
kidding me?
Yeah, and it goes yoink 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 yoink, and then it goes yoink 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 yoink, and back in your top head. So it takes out the thick hair in the back and plugs it in where you're going bald.
A robot does it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Artist robot. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff.
That's pretty
Hair
amazing.
Club, baby. There you go. Hair Club.
Hairclub.com/Cam Strick if you want to see our landing page. But that is incredible. And the pill.
Yeah, it's everything. And the PRP and
all that.
everything.
Check it out, man. You know who they're going for in the Stanley Cup final?
Panthers. Of course they are.
Pick it up, Panthers. You can't just go out there trying to run around and like act like you're not going to intimidate
Not bullying that
the
team.
Vegas. This isn't Toronto.
I feel like Vegas has been around for fucking ever. All they're doing is competing. And you're going to bully them around? I don't think so.
Things changed for Vegas when they got Petro, and then they get Mark Stone.
And they get Eichel.
Then they get Eichel.
Gee. Well, yeah. 3 fucking Hall of Famers, maybe.
I'm not going to lie. Vegas annoyed the shit out of me for a long time.
I like them.
For a long time. They were the most annoying franchise in sports.
Okay. Did you see the...
but now they're not bothering me as much. I don't know. I like them.
If I'm a single cat, too, man, I'm going to Vegas for a fucking hockey game and sitting at that pool with the monster TV with all the women cruising around.
You think that's clean in there?
No, but you could have a little cabana and you see that big-ass TV and there's hot chicks walk. You're watching Stanley Cup Finals. You're having a cocktail. You got your glasses on. You're creeping out women because there's hot chicks everywhere.
Can't you just go to a place with a pool?
Yeah, but why?
And watch it on TV? Do you have to be in Vegas?
Yeah, but if you're in Vegas, it's like a really cool spot to watch.
Okay.
It, you know?
Oh, yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah, if you're fucking single.
Yeah, Cam's like, oh, no, but if you're in Vegas, the pool's different. It's like...
well, it's the TV's different. It's the size of this whole building we're in.
That's got to be cool.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, if you're single, you got a little bit of money, you want to go down there and fucking sniff around, you're goddamn right.
Absolutely.
I know that's not your scene, but
no,
I just fucking love doing
Bellman
that.
and Bellman.com, Cam. At Bellman, you get no what?
Swinging dicks, man. There's no swinging
what
dicks.
does that really mean?
It means a guy that comes out and he's got his dick in his hands. He's like, "Oh, hey, woman, let me talk to you about something. You want that car? No, you should have this one. No, this one. Take this. Oh, your husband? Oh, that's Kane Jameson? Yeah, son bitch. I used to pick on him in high school. What's he up to? He ain't doing nothing anyway. He wasn't even that tough anyway. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
What you doing, honey? No, I need a car.
That's how he talks to them?
Hey, woman, what you doing?
Oh, my
I know.
God. Okay.
I know,
well, you don't get that at Bellman.
No.
It's located where?
In Troy, Missouri.
Troy, Missouri.
Try.
On one side of the street, you got Buick and GMC. Do I need to say more? They got so much selection there. It's unbelievable. On the other side, Cam, it's Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
God dang right. I had my Jeep out all weekend, too, man.
You always say that. I haven't seen you drive the Jeep.
Yeah, I didn't drive it on the highway. I told you, dick.
I thought you were going to bring it out to First Farm.
No, it's on the highway. I can't do that. And driving home, it's like, that's not an easy drive.
Oh, God.
But fucking
you
cruising
read way
around.
too much into it.
Cruising around the back roads out where I live.
Where'd you stop and get food the other night, by the way?
Joe McCarty's.
Is that where you went?
Fuck yeah.
Did you hang out there or just pick it up?
No, I cruise in and say hey. And
do they charge you?
Sometimes, but I always give them a big tip and stuff like that. But I say hey to everybody.
Hey dudes, hey dudes, hey.
Hey dudes, hey girl, hey dude, what's up? Yo, what's up? Hi. Okay, gotta go.
Bellman and Bellman.com, Cam. Where they accept anybody. You having credit problems? Don't worry about it.
It's nice.
Get yourself some new wheels.
It's nice, real nice, yep.
Before summer's gone. Sparks, baby. SPARX. Sparks are flying. Sparks are flying. I was at the hockey shop the other day, Cam. I had to get Ty's stick cut down.
Yeah. You could do that yourself, but go ahead.
No, I had to have them do it. And it was the worst decision I ever made in my life.
Well, why would you have somebody cut down your fucking kid's stick?
Because
that's the easiest thing
because they've got that
do.
thing.
Just do it with a fucking saw.
And it's done.
Get out of here.
Okay? I gave him the stick. I'm like, dude, it takes 20 seconds. I swear to God, 20 minutes later, he's just holding it in his hand, just walking around. Seth is.
Seth. He's thinking about other things.
I'm like, Seth, can you cut the stick down and give it back to me so we can leave? No matter what you're doing, especially if you're going there to have your skates sharpened, you're asking for trouble. You want to just ask for stress. You want to ask to be annoyed. I'm telling you, man, this is why you need to get your own Sparks, and you get it today. Take the skate sharpening into your own hands. Get yourself a Sparks and use the promo code Cam Strick. You're gonna save more money than Black Friday and Cyber Monday, Cam.
God dang right, man. You know what's he's got a lot on his mind, you know, killing animals and creeping out the neighbors. So, and beating his dick off.
And he was okay. I don't know if he's doing all of that. I don't know. If
yeah.
Well, he was late to work too.
Probably looking at somebody's window too.
Looked like he hadn't showered.
Well, no, he's creeping people out. He's peeping Tom in your fucking neighborhood. All the daughters are getting creeped out.
This guy,
fucking psycho.
Just cut the stick.
Got
down.
Cheetos.
Just cut my damn
fingernails.
stick down. Okay, that's terrible, dude.
Cheetos and
the fiery hot Cheetos.
Yeah, and he's touching himself. Like, he's fucked. Fuck this kid.
His parents are embarrassed of him.
Fucking killing animals in the neighborhood too. Your kitty goes missing. That's where it's at.
What do you think his parents say to them to each other?
They ignore him because they're fucking shitty parents.
They're like, can we get him out of the house?
They want him to fucking, you know, who knows what, but they don't put their foot down because they're scared of him.
No, that is true.
So he runs the show and gets to do whatever the fuck he wants. Mm-hmm. Psycho.
Tesson Roofing, baby.
My boy's right there. God dang right, boy. Little Justin Maroon, I'll give you a little shout out too. What's up, baby? He works there.
We'll give Justin Maroon a shout out.
Damn right. He was at the race the other day. My boy Charlie Molo saw him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Greener shingle, baby. And roof replacements is what you focus on now.
Damn right.
And get that nanotech. Ask about that.
Dude, they got all kinds
of greener shingles is like lotion for your roof, man.
Man,
massage that stuff in there.
My roof gets ashy.
Taken care of.
My roof gets ashy.
Hey, all you need to know about Tesson Roofing, and it's not all you need to know, but it's important. Preferred contractor with many major insurance companies, Cam. Not everybody can say that.
No shit. They'll take care of you, man.
They offer a 25-year workmanship warranty, too. That's pretty amazing.
They're the real deal.
TessonRoofing.com.
Oh, I'm going to give my boy Brett a shout-out, too.
Brett Tesson.
Hopefully he drafts me in this new this golf tournament we're doing.
He probably won't. If he's seen you golf,
hey,
he's
Brett,
not drafting you.
Draft me, dude. In this golf tournament, dude, we'll hang out all night, all day in that tourney coming up here, the Pro Players Tournament. See, Andy, I saw him at St. Albans. He went there in the morning, golfs for 18 holes, then drives all the way back, picks up his lovely wife, by the way. Lovely wife. Mm-hmm. And they sit down. I think it's his wife. And they sit down, and I go, what are you doing? He's like, what's up, Cam? He goes, I'm playing again. He picked her up. That's what a man does. Mm-hmm. You get done with 18, and she's probably like, can't I have fun with you too? Drives all the way back, picks her up, comes all the way back to St. Albans.
Brings her back to golf.
Brings her back in golf, and has a nice dinner there.
That's what I would do.
That's what wheels do.
Yeah.
When you're a fucking big dick, and you're cool, and you got a good product, that's what you do.
Yeah, the Greener Shingle Rejuvenator, man. It's like a treatment. It's like a lotion. But again, you'll save lots of money, energy efficient. Check out TessonRoofing.com.
Save that money. Let's go. And support St. Louis local, too. I love that.
He's like the American dream, that guy.
Yes.
Came from
nothing.
nothing.
Everybody likes him.
Came from nothing.
I talked to a bunch of people. They're like, oh, you fucking know him. Boy.
Oh,
like,
yeah, dude. He's cool as shit.
I know.
We don't steer you in the wrong direction. You know
He's
that.
a go-getting motherfucker.
Tesson Roofing,
How do they get a hold of him?
Well, TessonRoofing.com.
That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
I mean, you can call him at 314-932-1042.
All right. I'm just asking.
314-932-1042, but TessonRoofing.com. All right. From one Hall of Famer, Brett Tesson, to the next.
I like that. Big Ronnie.
We love getting the Hall of Famers on, man.
Yeah, no big deal.
Love getting the Hall of Famers on.
We get the big dicks.
He didn't really get treated right by our boy Tommy Dundon.
I know. We had Tommy on, too.
Tommy's like, and they guess what, though? Sometimes the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah, sometimes
He's breaking down that arena and everything that they play in. It's a little different than what they're dealing with in Raleigh, North Carolina, dude.
I get that.
I mean, technology galore, dude, over there in Seattle. Yeah. And our boy Ronny Francis doing his thing. With the Seattle Kraken, baby. Our first Seattle Kraken I think we've had on the show.
We got a lot of listeners.
We've had Eddie O on and stuff like that, but not a whole lot, man. We got a lot of listeners over there in Seattle, so a big shout out to everybody in the Pacific Northwest. Enjoy Ronny Francis on this edition of the Cam Strick podcast. Hairclub.com, baby.
Oh, you're damn right.
Go to our landing page today, hairclub.com/Cam Strick. Regrow, restore, and replace that hair.
Don't wait.
Now to the interview. Ronnie.
Guys, how you doing?
What's going on, man?
Are you in the office? Are you overlooking the Space Needle? Where you at?
What are you doing?
I'm in the office.
It never stops. Never stops, huh?
No, maybe last week of July, first week of August, somewhere in there. But
Brand new office, by the way.
Yeah, I know. So you're at the practice rink. So is your office? It's not in the actual Climate Pledge, right? Your office is in the practice rink. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, no, we have our locker room here, and then above all that stuff is our offices. So all our whole offices work out of the KCI, the Kraken Community Iceplex, which is sponsored by Starbucks. And then
there you go. Get that in there, Ronnie.
Gotta get that in
KCI
there.
sponsored by Starbucks.
Yep.
I feel like everything is so like, it's just like the technology is just like you just like walk in your office and like everything's done with your like fingerprint or whatever. I think everything's like advanced over there in Seattle, right? I mean, it's just like a whole new ball game in terms of the technology you're dealing with.
there is a lot of technology in the Seattle market for sure. Yeah, no question. And then Amazon being involved with CPA, and it's been a real nice fit for the organization out here with all the support they've gotten from the different companies in the market for sure.
CPA Cam is Climate Pledge
Thanks.
Arena.
No,
Cam thinks you're talking about like an accountant or something like that.
Andy acts like he's smart. He's a journalist for the group. But hey, you see Bezos ever? Has he ever come by and check out the rink?
Not Bezos, but the new head of Amazon is a gentleman by the name of Andy Jassy, who is also one of our owners. So yes, I see Andy quite a bit.
Yeah, the place is supposed to be unbelievable. I mean, I hear all great things about that new building. Looks great.
Yeah, I know the building's fantastic. You get a chance to see it. The one end is glass, which is exciting. There's not one jumbotron over center ice. There's two kind of in the high slots in each end. And then when you walk into the arena, you're coming basically in ground level. It's only about probably 30, 40 rows above ground level. Everything else is sort of subterranean. So it's pretty exciting. And you walk around. Amazon sponsored the arena. That's their name on it. And they have, as part of that, was sort of the pledge to be net carbon zero by the 23-24 season. And the one wall on the building is a living wall with all kinds of plants. And it's incredible that they keep every year. And a lot of cool things as you walk around the Space Needle Lounge up top. Has a glass roof that you, if you're sitting there having a drink, you can look up through the roof at the Space Needle above you. So it's pretty special rink. It's a great place to go play a hockey game, and the fans make it even more special, which is exciting.
Ron, it sounds just like PNC Arena in Carolina. Hey, it sounds just like that. I feel like you're talking about Raleigh. I didn't know which arena you're talking about.
They have a garden in Raleigh.
I know you guys have like 10 jumbotrons.
Hanging gardens of Babylon.
It's like unbelievable. It's like, do you find yourself when you're watching the games? Are you watching the bench? You watching the ice? Or you just have your eyes glued on the jumbotron?
I try and watch the ice, but we do look at the jumbotron, the stoppages of plays, and you're always constantly checking the bench. They did a nice job with the sort of the press box area, so you don't feel like you're really high like you do in some of the arenas. You have a really good view of the game and perspective of the game. So that part is good to watch the game from that level because you're not too far away.
Hey, Ron, what's the benefit of having the guy who owns Amazon be one of your bosses? Now, are you getting like free shipments? Are you getting is he like, hey, here's a $10,000 gift card to Amazon? He just leaves it on your desk, you can just go shopping.
I do not get that. I do have a good relationship with him. It's interesting. Andy grew up in New Rochelle, New York. So he was his dad was a big Rangers fan growing up, so he watched the game a lot with his dad. I believe his dad actually tried to buy the St. Louis Blues way back in the day. Was unsuccessful, but Andy is a huge supporter of the game of hockey and especially the Kraken. He's at pretty much all our games, and we exchange some texts or conversations when we see each other in person, but very knowledgeable on his take of the game of hockey, which is exciting.
Yeah, you want to make sure the owner is knowledgeable, right? I mean, you don't want the owner being like, hey, listen, get that guy off the power play. Yeah. You need to put this guy in the power play. I mean, there's got to be some boundaries, right?
No, yeah. I mean, we've got a lot of owners. I think the number is somewhere around 35 or 36 total in the group. Some pretty big names, as I'm sure. I mean, the lead guy was David Bonderman, put it all together. And then Jerry Bruckheimer is one of our owners as well. David Wright, his family owns the Space Needle here. David Bonderman's daughter, Samantha Holloway, is sort of in charge around here on a day-to-day basis and doing a great job. So we've got a lot of people. Mitch Garber was tied with Cirque du Soleil back in the day. So a lot of people that are sort of involved. They're great in the sense they do everything they can to give us the opportunity to build a successful franchise, whether that's budget, facilities, you name it, and then they kind of let you do your job. So that part is good.
Yeah, absolutely. And you speak of the fans, and it looked like that place was rocking and rolling every time I watched. How is the balance of, you got a new franchise, you got new players that the fans haven't really interacted with. I'm sure that the boys have to go around town and shake hands and do all that. Like, did you ever have to be like, okay, we want to get new fans in here, but these guys are getting worn out. We're kind of, we're doing a little too much around town. Like, how do you balance that?
Yeah, no, it's a good point. We really struggled with that the first season, right, because of COVID and all the things that were in place. You couldn't really go around and shake hands because you were worried about, catching COVID and spreading your locker room. So that was real tough the first season. Being able to get out this year and do things in the community, we tried to, do things that gave us the most bang for our buck, and whether it was schools or public things with larger crowds to sort of help. But our guys have been fantastic. They they don't complain. We try and spread it around so we're not taxing any one individual too much, and sort of be fair to the guys and their families, especially with the travel on the West, right? You're on the road a fair amount, you come back home, the last thing you want to do is take them away from their families when they've been away for 7 or 10 days. So we try and balance that act, but they've been great getting out in the community. The response has been fantastic. I've been 3 Stanley Cup finals as a player, won twice, lost once, and that building in our arena in Game 6, was just absolutely outstanding. The atmosphere was incredible, and probably about as good as I've been a part of. So really exciting. You hear a lot about the Seattle fans when you go, the 12th man with the Seahawks and everything else. So it's exciting to see that sort of kick in the hockey as well this year, which was great.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, man. I mean, you see it on the football side, even back in the day with like Ken Griffey Jr. and the Mariners. I mean, they used to get kind of crazy. So there's no doubt the passion is there. Hey, listen, I'm curious if you'd ever even been to Seattle, like before you like went and interviewed. Had you even ever been to Seattle? And just the whole process, it's got to be nerve-wracking when you're trying to like have your board with the expansion draft. Who's going to be left protected? Who's unprotected? What's the roster going to look like? Everyone's comparing you to Vegas. And, you heard the criticism, right, your guys' first year because you guys weren't going to the Stanley Cup final like Vegas did, man. I mean, it's like, were you even like wondering, man, did we pick the right team? Did we make mistakes? Or were you confident all along, Ronnie, that you guys be able to turn this thing around as quickly as you did?
Yeah, so the first thing, I believe with the Penguins, we played an exhibition game out here. I think we had a Western swing. We played, I think, in Tri-Cities, Portland. I thought we played in Seattle way back in the probably early half of the 90s, but that was my only time. I was kind of sitting on the side, just finished working with Hockey Canada at the World Championships in 19, and then Seattle reached out. So I flew up for an interview, flew back, flew up for another one, and eventually, we got a deal done. So that was exciting. It's a different challenge. Nobody had as much time to prepare for Vegas as they did for us. They had 4 years to prepare for us. They went through the expansion draft once with Vegas. The rules hadn't changed. So, I think a lot of guys looked at it and said, hey, maybe I would do this different next time. And they did. As we went into it, some of the deals that were sitting there for Vegas were not going to be there for us. Another little thing that, it doesn't seem like much, but when Vegas had their expansion draft, nobody was sitting on the outside that could influence the team's picks and stuff. Vegas was sitting on the outside of our expansion draft where they weren't going to lose any players, but they did facilitate a couple of trades, within a day or so of the expansion draft, which changed a lot of teams' rosters, right? So there was a lot of things that were different. We just felt going in that we weren't going to get those same kind of deals. We're going to have to take a little bit different approach. Did the first year go as well as we were hoping? Absolutely not. You're hoping for more than 60 points your first year. I talked about it a lot at the end of the season. I don't know if people believed in what I said or not, but we had 19 one-goal game losses. Last year, we had another 7 that were one-goal game losses that became 2. So 26 basically in essence 1-goal game losses in our first season. That's 52 points. That's a lot of points that could have went the other direction for us. But we did some things to the deadline. We moved out 6 players. And then, the one player we brought back in was Sprong, and then we were able to sign some free agents and make some trades and, basically changed our roster, bringing in Matty Beniers and getting Tanev and Schwartz healthy back for year two. And things just sort of gelled, and things were much better for us last year than the first season. So there's still a lot of work to do, but, we feel we're headed in the right direction for sure.
Hey, is there a player that you got in the expansion draft where you were like, man, I can't believe they're leaving this guy unprotected, and you're just keeping your fingers crossed, like nothing's going to change. This guy's going to be available to us. And then when you got him, like you knew you had something maybe better than what other people thought you had, like was McCann one of those guys? Were you thinking like you had a real player in him, or has he even, exceeded your expectations?
Yeah, no, you're looking for a lot of different things, trying to put your team together, right? And what people forget is teams get to protect their best 7 forwards and their best 3 defensemen. So they're going to protect, in most cases, their top 6 forwards and their third line center. So, I think one thing that was kind of interesting was Yanni Gourde being available, because as you're trying to establish your culture and your locker room, you want a guy that's won championships. You want a guy that's an engine. He competes. He gives you everything. He has everything every night. And, that was the guy that fit in. McCann, we thought could score goals. I mean, scoring 40, maybe we didn't see that coming, but, great for him, 30 and 40 goal seasons, which is outstanding. And, you get certain guys, Everly and as a leader kind of thing, those kind of things. So there's a lot of different things that factor in. On the back end, a guy like Larson's been a real, I think, find for us, and Vince Dunn has continued to improve from where we got him to the end of the season. So there's a lot of things that, for our team to even mention 1 or 2 guys is probably unfair, because we didn't have success this year because of 1 or 2 guys. We had success this year because of our depth and because we had contributions up and down our lineup. And, I think everybody in our lineup deserves credit for the season we had this year based on how they performed and what they contributed to the team.
Yeah, and, you got the first year, COVID was still in full effect. You got all these new guys together. They haven't played with each other. And I know you could practice all you want, but just like hanging out, going out, doing things like that, COVID kind of hindered, them kind of getting together as a team. It's just not all on the ice. So that must have been tough the first year.
Well, we ended up canceling we had 3 different team events scheduled leading up to the start of the season. We had to cancel all of those. We had 3 guys out of our starting lineup that had COVID. So we flew to Vegas without them. They got actually cleared the morning of our first game in Vegas. And then we had some owners flying down, and we were able to put the players on one of the owners' planes to get them in there. I think they got in about 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and they will, get them into our lineup to play that night, but they hadn't practiced for like 3 days. That was a constant all season long, right? You come to the rink in the morning, and guys would test. We actually had a lab at both rinks, because depending where we were practicing, so guys would have come in, do the nasal swab, and then we would test it. If in 30 minutes they were fine, they could come back into the rink for practice. If they weren't, then they had to go home, and we'd sort of find somebody else. It was an interesting process, and we didn't have a full American team. We were sharing with Florida last year, so we probably didn't have the depth that a lot of other teams had in replacement as well. But this year it was totally different. We had our exhibition season, and we scheduled some time in between our exhibition games in Calgary and Edmonton, and we took the whole team up to Kananaskis and just spent a couple of days, played some golf, hung out together, and I think the guys just thoroughly enjoyed that. We came back, we were able to have a big dinner with all the players and their wives, and our owners and their wives, and our staff. And so everybody got to finally sort of meet somebody face to face for the first time. And I think that really helped as you try to establish your culture and what you're all about, to start moving forward. And as I said, our owners have been really good in trying to help facilitate those things where we can help sort of build that camaraderie within our organization, which is great.
Hey, listen, we want to talk about some things because you're an unbelievable player, man. Hall of Fame player, one of the best ever. So we're going to get into some of that stuff. But I got to ask you this. The expansion draft, like, people are like tweeting out who's going to be picked next, who's drafted next. It like ruined the whole experience of like watching. Like, are you aware of all of this going on in real time? Like, are people telling you, hey, like all our picks are getting leaked? And did you ever get an answer like how that happened?
To be totally honest, it was probably my fault. Trying to be a nice guy, I reached out to certain teams and said, "Hey, this is who we're taking," sort of giving them a heads up. And then I think it kind of went from there, whether it was the player or the agent or whoever finding out. And then once it got in the hands of the media, it was out there. So, kind of ruined some of the pizzazz. Looking back on it, I'd probably handle it different. Just I was trying to be a nice guy and give them a heads up, and it kind of backfired. But anyways, so be it. It was still a great day. I mean, having that stage set up at Lake Union and sort of Chamber of Commerce weather that day and all the boats in the background. I think not only the guys that saw that, I think certainly everybody looked at thought, hey, this isn't a bad place to maybe go play. And certainly I think with our facilities and the way things have gone here, it's starting to ramp up even more as a place where guys are going to want to play hockey.
Yeah, that was like wild. People were like flipping out on Twitter, be like, "Stop telling us who they're taking next, man!" But so and the
Can't be a nice guy.
And the league was probably like, "What the hell is going on?" So anyway, Sault Ste. Marie, baby. That's where you grew up. First off, before you even played for the Greyhounds, which is perfect that you were able to play for your hometown team, you can tell us how that happened. Were you able to watch Gretzky like before that as a young kid? Are you going to games watching like young phenom Wayne Gretzky? Did you ever have any encounters with him?
I did watch him. I never had an encounter with him while he was in the Sioux, but growing up in the Sioux, that was, the Greyhounds were it, right, for a young hockey player, and they had a lot of great players over the years. And that was when number 99 was adorned, right? I think that Brian Galazzi was wearing number 9, and that was Wayne's number. So they decided just to make Wayne 99, and that's where it started. So, I know Wayne isn't that much older than me, but I was probably pretending I was Wayne Gretzky in a few of the ball hockey rinks around the Sioux as I watched him play for the Grounds. It was a great opportunity to see him play at an early age.
Was there a spectacle around him, even in junior, like where he was like just the biggest name in town? Like, how good of a junior hockey player was this guy?
He was really good. I was probably a little bit younger, so I wasn't maybe as aware of what he was dealing with at the spectacle in town. The Sioux's pretty good at kind of letting you kind of do your thing. The people, they admire what you can do on the ice. They respect you for who you are, and they kind of respect your privacy as well. But I'm pretty sure he enjoyed his time there, as did a lot of other guys. I mean, Craig Hartsburg was there. A lot of guys have come through the Sioux, Joe Thornton, John Van Beesbrook, Adam Foote. There's a lot of guys that have kind of rolled through the Sioux that on their way to the NHL, which is it's been a great junior franchise for a long time.
No,
you forgot Bobby Probert too. I was wondering if you guys.
No, they didn't cross paths.
Yeah. Oh, that building was so damn cold.
Older, yeah.
Yeah, that building was so damn cold too, man. Like pulling up and you have to open those doors, go right in that freezing cold locker room. Man, that was tough. It was tough. Fun to play though.
They weren't doing that on purpose, were they?
No. They didn't keep those doors
open.
Our
side was warm.
I know it was.
Hey, what'd your parents do? Like how'd you? I mean, listen, you're Canadians, so it's like kind of like just happens where you get into hockey anyway. But was your dad like and your parents in general like just like super involved in hockey and really pushed you in that direction? Like, how'd you fall in love with the game?
I think just being in the Sioux and 150 inches of snow every winter, you got to find something to do in the wintertime. My dad was a steel worker. He lost his dad when he was 15. And so at 18, he got out of school and went into the steel plant to support his mom and 2 sisters. And my mom was the second oldest of 4 girls. Parents came over from Italy. Zaratini was her maiden name. So I grew up in the west end of the Sioux, which is pretty much all Italian. Bocce courts in the backyard and gardens. It was a great place to grow up. Everybody took care of each other. And, my dad was never really one to push a lot. My mom actually went with a friend of hers to sign up her friend's older boy. She had a boy my age and one a year older, and went to sign her older boy up for hockey. He was like 4. I think the 2 of us were 3 at the time. And as they were registering him, the guy, said to me, we get 2 spots left. What about the other 2? And they kind of looked at each other and they were like, okay. So my mom signed me up with this other lady and came home, told my dad. My dad thought she was crazy, but at 3 years old, I started playing. You know, I was skating at probably 2.5 and playing at 3. And it was kind of in the old back part of the Memorial Gardens. There was a little ice rink there, and played the Sioux Pee Wee Hockey Association growing up, and then Sioux Major in downtown. Never really pushed by my dad. He never really coached me. I think a couple times maybe he was a trainer and stuff. And I asked him why he didn't coach me. He said, because if I coach everybody, I got to play everybody equal. And if somebody else coaches, they tend to play you a little bit more. So I just stay out of the way. He said.
Exactly right.
So,
That's a great answer.
So, but yeah, I was planning on going to Cornell University. I had basically everything set in place to go to Cornell, and then the Greyhounds, Sam McMaster and Terry Crisp, came and talked to my parents and I on a Tuesday night, and talked about how they wanted to draft me, and they couldn't take me in the first round; they want to take me in the second. And my parents, I think my mom always wanted me to go to college. I always wanted to get a college education out of hockey, and we sat down the next day at lunch, and they said, what do you want to do? What's your aspirations? And I said, I think if I drafted a junior, I'll know in a year or so if I'm good enough. If I'm not, then I can always go to college. And they said I'm good enough to make it. Maybe they'll, guarantee something. So we talked about them, and they said, yeah, if you don't sign a pro contract, we'll pay for an education for you. And I said, all right, I'll play for you. And they drafted me. I got to play that year, and then I got drafted to Hartford the next year, and they sent me back, and I think it was 25 games into my second season. They called me up, and that was my last time playing junior hockey.
How many assists did you have at 3 years old, Ronnie?
Yeah, really.
I mean, he's probably going behind the back. 1,500 assists at 3. Hey, but the idea of passing, man, being a playmaker, there's something cool about being an elite passer. I watched Adam Oates when I was a young kid too, like Cam. He was here in town, he and Brett Hall doing their thing. There's not that many pure passers that are coming up in the game today. Why do you think that is? And what was it about you that enjoyed, setting others up versus scoring, even though you scored a lot of goals too?
Yeah, that was one thing my dad kind of made a point of stressing when I was younger, that, an assist was, the same as a goal in regards to points. So, if there was a guy that was open in a better position, give him the opportunity to score. And so I kind of just had that throughout my career. Maybe my shot wasn't the hardest, so I leaned on other guys that had better shots to sort of help get the points and get the puck to the back of the net. I don't know. I think everybody likes being a goal scorer. Hell, at one point, my dad told me into my career, he said, if I had to do it all over again, I'd make you a goal scorer. And I said, Dad, I think it worked out all right. I was happy being a playmaker. We're fine. So it was, everybody's kind of different in what they do. For me, it was just, I always got just as much enjoyment out of setting somebody up for a goal as I did scoring one myself. And, happy that the career went the way it went.
1981, your 4th overall. What was your first contract for? Just curious.
I still have it, as a matter of fact. I think it was 80, 85, 90, 100, 105. It was like a 5-year deal. I think I had 120,000 in signing bonus spread out over about 3 years or something like that as part of the contract. So yeah, that was back in 1981.
Pretty damn good.
I went to the GM's office. It was Larry Plow in Hartford.
Larry.
And he signed the contract, slid it over to me. I signed the contract, slid it back to Larry. Larry signed the first chunk of signing bonus. I think it was $35,000. And he slid the check over to me, and I looked at it, and I handed it to my dad, and he looked at it, kind of shook his head. That was probably a good year at the steel plant for our family back then. And then he handed the check over to my mom. My mom looked at it, folded it up, put it in her purse, put her purse on her shoulder, and locked her elbow on that purse against her body. And we had to fly Hartford to Montreal, Montreal to Toronto, Toronto to Sault Ste. Marie. And I think somebody could have separated her shoulder. And I'm still not sure they would have got the purse off of her. It was a big day for myself and the family. That was special.
What'd you buy with it?
Did you fix the house up or something?
I didn't really buy anything. I asked my dad what I should do with it. He said, we never really had the problem of investing. We had $500 in the bank at the end of the year. That was a good year. And, I don't know what to do. So you kind of lean on your agents and their contacts to sort of start doing that. But I went out in 1983 and I was working for an investment company in Hartford area. I stayed there for the summer and sort of self-taught myself and took the Series 7 exam just to have a better understanding of, what stocks and bonds and mutual funds and investing was all about, and kind of went from there.
Look at you.
That's how you do
knowledge
it
is
right there,
power, Ronnie.
You're damn right, Ronnie.
Hey, what Larry Plow say? Okay, Ronnie, don't spend all this at once now. Okay, let's give it to your mom.
We love Larry.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember the draft story, but Howard Chuck was scheduled to go 1 to Winnipeg, and then Doug Smith was rumored to go 2 to LA. Joe Cirella was supposed to go 3 to Colorado. And then Bobby Carpenter was supposed to go 4 to Hartford. And I believe Bobby's dad was actually sitting at their table. And then I was supposed to go 5 to Washington, but Washington didn't want me. So they made a deal with Colorado to get in front of Hartford. And then rumors I heard was Hartford had tried to make a deal with LA to get back in front of Washington, but LA wouldn't do it. So it went Howard Chuck first, Doug Smith second, and then Bobby Carpenter went 3rd to Washington. And, Hartford called the timeout, and then they announced my name, and I went up there. Billy Deneen was the head of amateur scouting for Hartford. He was probably the only guy at the table excited to see me at that time. I played with his son Gordy in the 2, and he showed me his list. He had Howard Chuck 1 and myself 2, but Billy was pretty excited. I think everybody else was still a little bit in shock, but nonetheless, that's how everything started with the Hartford Whalers.
You know who went 15th overall that year?
Who, Andy?
Come on, Ronnie. Who went 15th?
I'm guessing Cam, but I don't know.
Al McInnes. No, Al McInnes did. Now, you guys went into the Hall of Fame the same year, correct or no?
We did, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, when did you first see Al play for the first time?
We actually lost to them that year in, was he playing? Did he play Kitchener? I think he played Kitchener.
Yeah, Kitchener,
junior,
yeah.
Yeah, they beat us in the conference finals, I believe, that year of the draft. Yeah.
It's amazing. Chris Chelios went, I think, in the second round that year. You guys had a hell of a draft, man. It was amazing.
Yeah, I think Scherzy was like 7, I think, that year too, Edmonton, I think.
Wow.
Might have been that year.
What was it like when you first went to Hartford? Did you know anything about Hartford? Have you been in that city before? Like, what was your take on it when you first got there?
No, Art Kaminsky was my no, it wasn't Art Kaminsky. Sorry, it was Norm Kaplan. But they were the same firm. But that was when I got drafted to Hartford. He said, "This is great for you." I didn't know anything about it. I flew in. There was a gentleman there by the name of Bob Crocker. It was the assistant GM, a wonderful man, and kind of showed me a little bit about the city area and stuff like that. But I knew nothing about Hartford. Got there for training camp. Was there for a week, and they sent me back. They said they didn't want to rush me, and then I came back on the after 25 games in junior. It was like, I don't want to say like around the 14th or 18th of November in 81. And I was there on a 1-game tryout. So I think we left the on a Wednesday, played Thursday, and like Brantford Friday and Niagara Falls. After the game, I drove with Larry Plow to Buffalo, flew the next day into Hartford, did the morning skate, played that night. The next day, flew back to Toronto, drove from there to Kitchener, played an afternoon game. And then after the game, they said they were calling me back for a 3-game tryout. So I drove back to Toronto, flew back to Hartford. And then I was there for a 3-game tryout. And Greg Millen and his wife, Annie, were nice enough to say, hey, if you want to just get out of the hotel and stay with us until they tell you what's going on. And I ended up, staying the whole season and living with them, which was fantastic to have, somebody to live with and go home to rather than sort of be on your own, because we didn't have a lot of young guys on that team, and kind of went from there. But really enjoyed my time in Hartford. It's a really a great city and great area. I lived outside in the Farmington area, which was great.
Yeah, living with an older guy like that when you're young. I mean, even you've never lived by yourself. These young kids come in, and Big Walt's done that to so many players in St. Louis, from David Backus to Robert Thomas. Anybody doing that in Seattle now? You got some of these young kids coming up. Are they living by themselves? Do you encourage them to live with an older vet?
Yeah, no, it's. I think we had a few guys that considered it this year with Maddie. Unfortunately, they had a pregnant wife or a child that was just born, so it makes it a little more complicated to have somebody else come into your house. Yeah. But Maddie ended up actually living with Will Borg and another younger guy, so they were fine. But Greg was, I think, 25 at the time. Greg and Andy were 25 at the time when I moved in with them. So it's certainly, I think, easier, to have somebody to go home to and kind of have conversations with and be around. But the kids today are they're very mature, and then it's a little different than in my area where, you're getting, at least 2 meals a day at the rink and probably the ability to take a third meal home if you wanted. Right. So it's not like they're having to cook for themselves every day if need be.
Hey, listen, man, you've been around the game for so long, like when you see a specific player, like where they're at, you know what I mean? And that's what separates a lot of people who work in the business versus fans in general, because you get a guy like Shane Wright, like he's just being, elevated so high in the press and the media, what he did in junior, that the expectations just get crazy. But as an organization, you got to be patient. Like I remember even with the Blues, like they sent Pietrangelo back to junior 2 years in a row, and now he's one of the best defensemen in the league. So like, what was it with him that he just wasn't ready? Like, were you expecting him to be ready, or did you know at the time, like, hey, it's going to take some patience here?
No, I think we knew it was going to take some patience. And some of it too is like, if our season wasn't going well early, then you probably are more apt to keep them around and try to continue to work with them on a daily basis. But you're trying to establish a culture here where you earn things in this organization. And, Ty Cartier is a good example. He was an overage free agent that we signed out of juniors. He went down to Coachella. He started on the fourth line. He didn't start on the top line or top six. He started on the fourth line, and he continued to work and improve. And, by the end of the season, he was playing in the National Hockey League in the playoffs. And everybody takes different paths. And in Shane's case, he has the speed, he has the talent. There's certain aspects to his game that we feel he needs to work on and get better. And, we're comfortable that he's moving in the right direction in that regard. If it happens, tomorrow, great. If it happens next week, great. If it takes 6 months or a year, that's fine too. It's a process that we continue to work with our players and try and make them better. And we forget sometimes they're 18 and 19 years old. It takes, they're going against guys that are, 28, 35, very, more physically matured and mentally matured and more experienced in the league. So it is a process for sure.
Yeah. Well, some guys can do it. I mean, you went through that, Ronnie. You played at 18, right, man. But like, take us to the draft table. Like, what was really going through your mind? Like, were you even like thinking this guy was going to be able to fall and be there at number 4, and just watching the whole process play out in Montreal, where all of a sudden this guy isn't taken first overall, and then he's taken, and he gives the Canadiens the look, as he goes across the stage. Did you even know that was going on? But like, to walk us through that 30, 45 minutes to an hour of just watching the draft unfold. Were you surprised, or did you think it could possibly go that way?
No, we felt there was a possibility that it could go that way. I think for us, we had 2 centers, high on our list, Shane being one of them. And our hope was that we could get a centerman, the strength of building down the middle with Maddie and adding another centerman we thought would be good for the organization, long term. When it happened that Shane was there, that was the player we picked. I do want to, a lot was made out of the staring incident. I was on the stage with him. He was walking across, and the person pointed down. There was a whole bunch of photographers between him and the Montreal table, and that's what he was looking at. They were taking pictures and stuff. So, from where I was, it wasn't like he was staring anybody down. He was responding to the photographers when he was pointed to look that way. But anyways, for us and being able to get Beniers and Shane, we think that it bodes well for the organization, long term. So we're excited to that, and we're looking forward to adding some more pieces to this year's draft.
Yeah, see, I'm glad you could correct that, because everyone just assumes that he's like giving them a dirty look and all this. It's, I don't know. You just that's what you hear and that's what you read. You just assume that it's true. So I'm glad you set the record straight there, Ronnie. But listen, when you're when he's with you, And like you're sitting him out of games, like he's not playing, he's a healthy scratch, and you got a lot of analysts like criticizing the organization for how they're handling it. Like, do you hear that noise? Was there concern about that? Where you're like, okay, we just got to get him out of here, get him back to junior as soon as possible, and just kind of limit, the negativity that's been, surrounding Shane Wright and all the noise surrounding him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I try to stay away from social media. I think we went into it with thoughts, and let's see how he is in camp. So, between 8 regular season games, 5 exhibition games, he got 13 games at the NHL level this year. He got 2 weeks down in the American League games there, so experience in that thing. He got to play in the World Juniors as the captain for Team Canada, win a gold medal there. And then we returned him to junior at that point. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that he got to do. In between the games up top, he's practicing with NHL players. He's working with our skills coaches. He's learning from our NHL coaches' systems and structures. If he's not playing a game, then he's watching a game. There was times he sat up in the box with me and management just to, talk about things and look at things and sort of understand things at the NHL level. So, it's not like we're just sitting him out and kind of letting him, hang out by himself or go play video games. I mean, we're constantly working with him and trying to help make him better. So we had, contrary to what maybe some people thought, we had a plan in place. We're trying to see how it was progressing. It went along. Then ultimately we made the final decision to return him to junior. So, now he's back in the American League and getting some games there as well.
Well, it's the instant gratification world that we live in. Like everyone expects, and listen, there was a ton of hype surrounding Shane Wright. I mean, this guy's has endorsement deals and stuff like that before he was even drafted, and it's like you just assume that he's going to walk right in and just dominate. It just doesn't always work like that. But he had a hell of a year, though, man, in terms of everything he went through from the COVID year, like missing out on that. That season really impacted a lot of these young kids, and he comes to you. He goes to the World Juniors. He gets traded in junior. The playoffs didn't go well in junior. He played some games in the American League. Now he's back with you guys, and you guys are in the playoffs now. So, good luck to everything that's going on, man. But that COVID year really screwed up. You talk about the path these guys are on. That probably impacted him, don't you think?
Yeah, no doubt about that. The Ontario League did not play that year. The Western and the Quebec League at least got some games, and so that affected a lot of those players. And it's a critical stage of their development, right? Anytime you're missing games, whether it's COVID or injuries, it's tough. And certainly that would have an impact on all those players that missed time during that season.
Yeah, everybody was in the same situation with that. But let me ask you, as a GM, and you got young kids on the team, like in the summertime, are you keeping an eye on all the young guys? Like, are you like, I trust what you're doing throughout the summer with your workouts? I mean, hell, if they're going to Gary Roberts in Toronto, that's a different story. But do you want the young guys around you in the summertime so you can keep an eye on them and make sure they're doing the right thing?
Well, I mean, per the CBA, we're not allowed to say, hey, you have to stay in Seattle. You have to train with us. They have the right to go where they want and train with who they want. I think as an organization, we'd be foolish not to at least check in, every couple of weeks. I think our strength guy probably talks to who they're training with and the players just to make sure that their summer is going well, how they're feeling, that they need any, more education or help on nutrition, that kind of stuff. But, the player is free to go where he wants to and train with who he wants to and how he wants to train. So, it's an interesting process, but, today's day and age, there's not many guys that aren't training or working hard in the summer, and a lot of them spend a lot of their own money to try and get themselves in the best possible shape. And, certainly we kind of watch that and maybe suggest they go here or there, but we can't make them do anything. So it ultimately comes down to their decision.
Hey, one thing people should know is that you left Carolina in great hands, and a big part of that team that had that run in the playoffs this year has your fingerprints all over it, man. So you did a great job there in terms of setting the next group up for what they walked into. Listen, how hard was that situation when Dundon comes in? Like, was the writing on the wall then? Like, Ronnie, did you know, like, okay, my days are probably numbered, or were you thinking you were going to be able to stick it out? Like, how strange of an experience was that for you?
Yeah, let's just say I knew I wasn't going to survive there. So, but that's a new owner's prerogative. He spends that kind of money on a team. He can do what he wants. I appreciated Pete Carmanos and Jim Rutherford giving me the opportunity to be the GM there. I thought our staff worked extremely hard, building a lot of good prospects in the pipeline, and I thought we were pretty close. When we made the change, but that's an owner's prerogative to do whatever they see fit that they want to do for the organization. So, moved on, and probably thought at the time I was kind of had enough. Or didn't want to get back in, and then did the Spangler Cup for Team Canada, did the World Championships with Jason Botterill and Ron Hextall for Team Canada, and then Seattle called, and I kind of started getting the bug back, and just sort of came out and was very impressed with the ownership group, very impressed with the people that were working here. It just seemed like a good environment, a place you wanted to work at. And, I was fortunate they felt I was the right guy for the job. And, I've been happy here in the 4 years I've been here so far.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, like where your mindset was. Like when all that goes down in Carolina, listen, man, a lot of people had your back, like coming to your defense. I think a lot of people felt like it wasn't right how they treated you, and not just you, other people there in the organization too. It was just a very strange situation. So that kind of sucked the life out of you a little bit in terms of like the eagerness to jump back in. Like explain where you were at mentally when all that was going down.
Yeah, I think it's no different. I think in anything I try and do, I try and put everything into it. I think you work hard. It takes time away from your family, but they're understanding, and I think it's like when a player gets traded, you're probably not happy about it. Let alone that's really the first time I'd ever been fired. So other than I guess counter trade getting fired, but so I mean it's different, no question. But I think you're as somebody that kind of went there in '98, a new franchise, trying to help grow that market. I know Roddy and I talked a lot about it, when getting that organization back to the level we thought it needed to be at, when we first took over there. And so you feel like you didn't finish the job that you were close to finishing. But as I said, at the end of the day, until I have enough money to buy a team, I work for the guys that do, and they make those decisions. And, his decision was going a different direction. So be it.
Can't keep reading about those stocks.
Yeah,
keep
man.
reading about those stocks. You may have that money to be able to buy that team one day. Weren't you a minority owner though at one point with somebody, right?
Yeah, well, Pete Carmanos had looked for local investment. So I felt that, it was only fair for me. He'd sign me as a player and give me the opportunity of management that I invest him back in the team. So that's what I did. But in order to take a job with another NHL team, I had to sell that. So that is no longer the case.
Hey, you mentioned Brenda Moore. Like, when did you know he'd be a coach? Like when you're playing with him, did you see this type of future for him? Like what separated him from the others? And you still got to feel good for a guy like him, right? Who's having some success as a head coach.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I ever saw the coaching aspect. I mean, I'm not surprised by it as a player, that is. After you get out of a player, he started an assistant coach, and you could tell then that he was going to be a great coach someday. He's just very passionate, very driven. I used to tell people I get tired watching him work out in the weight room. That's how hard he worked out. Just great person. There's no BS with Roddy. You know where you stand, and I'm not surprised he's having the success he's had as a coach. It's been great to see.
Yeah, I got to ask you about playing in Pitt. You go there and you got those two superstars, and you knew Mario, but Yags comes on the scene. He's a young kid, probably doesn't speak great English, I would assume. I played with him in Jersey, and he was a handful, man. Like, how was that walking into that locker room and seeing those two monsters, and ultimately winning the championship with him? Like, how was that?
Well, actually, when I got traded in the locker room, Yarmer was our fourth line winger. So he wasn't the monster he became later, as far as being a talented player. It was pretty funny. I tell the story. I walked in and Bob Johnson grabs me day one. He calls me into his office and I say, Bob, what's going on? He goes, well, I just want to have a conversation with you. I said, yeah, Bob, what's up? He goes, well, I just want to let you know, we have this kid here. You may have heard of him. His name is Mario Lemieux. And I said, yes. And he goes, I just want you to, he's our number one centerman, but that doesn't mean, I said, Bob, I'm fine. I said, I understand that. I'm here to help the team win, and whatever we got to do to be successful, let's go do it. He's like, oh, okay, good. And so, but I'm playing second line center, and my left winger that year was Kevin Stevens, and then Joey Mullen come back off an injury, and Joey was my right winger. So, and we wanted to win the cup, and like I said, Yarmer was our fourth line winger, and then the second year, Craig Patrick made a different deal, and our first line became Kevin Stevens with Mario Lemieux and Ray Dockett, and my line was Yarmer Yager and Joey Mullen with myself.
Lord.
It was a talented team. It was fun to be in that team and play with it. Yacht was young, and as you said, the language is a bit of a challenge. It's also, I think, very challenging you take a kid at that age, take him out of, back then was, in the 80s was a communist country that he grew up in, and now you put him in North America. He's trying to understand the language. He's trying to understand people. Maybe the message he's trying to get sometimes across was not as he had intended. There was times where he would seem frustrated and mad and stuff. But, Joe and I talked about trying to work with him and how do we get him to buy into what we're doing and try to get that trust from him. And it's probably a relationship that I still cherish today. We still will have conversations or texts or, if we're at the World Championships together, we'll take a picture together and say hi stuff. I really enjoyed my time playing with Yarmer and getting to know him as a person, and still treasure that friendship today.
Oh, he was hanging out in Florida the other night. I saw that. He was hanging out. Hey, when he was young, and you guys were like, "Oh God, all right, practice is over," and then Yags is still out there with like a parachute, lifting weights on the ice, doing where you're like, "Okay, kid, enough's enough. Get off the damn ice."
Yeah, he wasn't as crazy. I think I shouldn't say crazy. He wasn't as extreme in some of the things he was doing. The one he loved to do back then was just sort of a leg extension machine, and he kind of wanted to do the end rep a little bit. He felt it built up his quads around his knees. The best thing he would tell me, a lot of times the players in a battle on the wall, and as a centerman, I want to go and help him. I want to go support him. He told me, get away from me. He said, don't bring other people to me. Give me my space one-on-one with the guy. And then, as we saw over time, he would stick that ass of his out, and then he would kind of feel where the pressure was coming on his left side or right side, and then he knew which side it was open for him to spin off and get out. And he had a hell of a career doing that. But as he went along, he was doing more of that, the parachutes, coming into the gym for a second workout later in the day, a lot of those things. But it's crazy to me that he's still playing, but he is, and I'm not surprised.
Hey, what was it like being around Mario, away from the rink? You guys go to restaurants, you're traveling. He was so gigantic. Was he a guy that was shy in the public? Did he not want to go out? Or would he embrace it? What was he like to hang out with?
Yeah, no, Mario's a great guy. I think, if he had his preference, he'd rather go out without all the notoriety and publicity. But, we would always, as a group, we had 5 or 6, 8 of us, so we'd go to dinner in Pittsburgh a lot of times on the road the night before a game. I tell the story the one time, and we had won the cup in Pittsburgh, and, a couple of days celebrating, and then we had a team golf thing. So we finished golf, and we're sitting in the clubhouse and talking about things and talking about summer training. And he said, yeah, he said, in my training, I'm getting all excited. I'm going to get a tidbit of how Mario Lemieux trains in the off season. I'm really excited about this. And he said, with my training, he said, starting on August 1st, I don't order any French fries with my club sandwich.
Oh gosh. Well, he was banged up too.
Yeah, that's not going to work for me.
Yeah. Hey, why'd you wear number 9 for a season there, right?
Yeah, Barry Pedersen was there, and he was wearing 10 my first year, and then Barry retired after that year. So 10 opened up, switched from 9 to 10 in my second year. So
yeah, he should have just given it to you.
Just give it to you.
You would have bought him a Rolex or something, you know.
Give him some stock.
Give him some stock advice.
We didn't make that kind of money back then, but
Hey,
they do today. But yeah, he was Barry was an experienced guy in the league too, so I didn't really ask him for it. And I took 9. Ironically, I don't think I scored for the first like 10 or 11 games. And I started getting all kinds of fan mail and stuff. People saying you got to get rid of number 9. It's Jay. You'll never win with number 9. But fortunately for us, 3 months later, we were hoisting Lloyd Stanley, which was fun.
Hey, when you see all these players like who are reaching 1,000 games, I mean, you almost played 2,000 games.
My God.
Which is just crazy. And Mario Lemieux didn't even play 1,000 games. I mean, he played just over 900 games, man. It's like a travesty that he had to deal with so much personal, health issues. Is he the best player you've ever seen? I mean, you saw him up close and personal. Like, have you ever seen anyone better than him? Like, how would you rank that?
Yeah, I think he and Wayne were both extremely dominant players, but it's interesting to me how different they were. Like to me, Wayne was, it's almost like it kind of hit a dangling rope, right? He was slippery, he was elusive, he was, smart and skilled. Mario was a bigger target. And the thing with Mario for me that he just seemed to be as strong, usually when your hands are in close to your body is when you're really strong. And when you start getting your hands away from your body, you tend to lose a lot of that strength. But he didn't seem to lose any of that strength. He was just, big and smart and skilled. And, there were things he did. I never got to play with Wayne in the NHL. I always played against him. But playing with Mario, you get to see things in practice. And can't tell you how many times you're sitting on the bench and there's a scrimmage or something going on. And you just go, did he just do that? Did I just see what I think I saw? Like there was things that he did you just wouldn't, I think normal players wouldn't think of doing. So fortunate I got that opportunity to play with him and win championships with him. And, was a credible hockey player for sure.
Man, you're so elusive and smart with the puck. I don't know how your injuries were and how they built up over the years, but I did see, I know you got caught by Scotty Stevens. I know you're playing for Carolina. Did that rock you bad? Did that linger? Were you just like, no, I was kind of messed up for that day and then I was over it? Like I've never seen you get caught like that. And he got you on the sidewall. Like how'd that affect you?
Yeah, no, it was weird. Ironically, I was playing, my kids wanted me to play it was one of those video games the night before. So I'm playing it in the first shift. I get knocked out of the video game. I'm thinking, that's kind of weird. And then the first shift, the puck's coming up the wall. It was actually a power play. Puck's coming up the wall. And then it rolled off towards the middle. And as I turned, I opened myself up and he was right there. And I wasn't the first one he had done that to. And it wasn't the last apparently, but yeah, I mean, I missed the rest of the series. I did come back the next season. Ironically, we had to play Jersey again the next season. We were able to win that, and probably gratifying with me. I scored the game-winning goal in the series clincher to knock them out as we advanced. So, yeah, I mean, when you play that many games, you're going to get injured here and there. I think I had 2 or 3, I'd probably say 3 concussions that I'm aware of in my career. That were documented, and then you have other different injuries. I don't know. Probably 400 or 500 stitches over my career and a few broken bones here and there. But, with over 1,700 regular season games and the 150 plus playoff games and probably 100 plus exhibition games, I feel like I came through it relatively well in the long run.
I thought you were going to say you got him back, and you went and drilled him, yeah. Scotty Niedermayer style or something, but I guess
pretty
not.
Solid
right?
guy to try and get back. Ironically, you mentioned Al McGinnis going into the Hall of Fame. Scotty Stevens and Mark Messier were also part of that class.
Amazing class, man. Amazing class. Jeez Louise. Amazing. Yeah, that is completely crazy when you think about it. And you know what? I think you stayed in the game, didn't you? Like the video shows the trainer talking to you. Like no one's staying in the game. Listen, if that happens today, Ronnie, you might you better get on the phone with Coachella because somebody's coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's it's a little different back then. I believe I took another shift. And it didn't go well. I think we got scored on, but then that was it. Yeah.
Hey, you're 37 when you took that hit, though. Like, was your wife, or were you like, okay,
No, yeah.
like I've played like 5,000 games. I'm going to be a Hall of Famer. Maybe I'm done. Like, what is it in terms of your mindset that said, I'm going to come back and play more?
It's just, I think, competitive nature. I might not come across as, outwardly being a very competitive guy, but, anybody that knows me well knows that I'm extremely competitive. So, to me, I wanted to get back. I wanted to help continue to build that organization and, try and get to the Stanley Cup Finals and win a championship. That's kind of, I went there to build that organization in '98 when Jim Rutherford signed me, and I was still trying to accomplish what I had gone there to do. So, retire never really crossed my mind.
I get you on that. Hey, you're Sault Ste. Marie boy. Like, what do you like to do away from hockey? Are you a fisherman? Do you like to hunt? Now they're in Seattle. Do you want to get a boat and cruise around? I mean, like, what do you like to do? Golfer?
Yeah, no, I've never been a big hunter. Fished as a kid growing up, but I don't really do that much now. I do love to play golf. COVID and starting an expansion franchise has really slowed that down dramatically.
Yes, it has.
I haven't played much in the last 4 years, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, no, just kind of getting away from it, spending time with the family here in Seattle. It's I haven't got to go skiing yet, but there's skiing, there's golf courses, getting out on the water is certainly something I like to do. We're trying to find a house that maybe is on the water, or certainly has a view of the water that gives us that access.
Yeah.
But
it'll cost $33 million.
It'll cost you $50 million. Get those stocks ready.
In Seattle, exactly. You're better off buying one in Carolina.
Stay away from the water, Ronnie.
I know. Hey, a couple more things for you, and we'll let you go, man. We appreciate all your time.
Dude.
Hey, Dave Hackstall, man, like that hire surprised me a little bit because things didn't go that well for him in Philadelphia. And, he was a college guy coming out of North Dakota where he had a ton of success. What was it about Dave Hackstall that led you to hire him and to obviously, keep your patience after the first year? And then now, he looks like he's a real good coach in the NHL.
Yeah, things didn't go well in Philadelphia, yet he made the playoffs, I think, 3.5 years he was there. So, he got results. I think it was and he would probably tell you the same thing. It's a learning process, right? You go from the college game where he had a ton of success, into the pro ranks. It's a totally different animal. The pace of the season, the amount of games we play, trying to get your hands around that. And I think he would admit now he probably wasn't ready for it as much as he thought he was or needed to be. My experience with Dave was in 2019 in the World Championships in Slovakia. Jason Botterill was the GM for Hockey Canada. Ron Hextall and myself were the assistants with him. Alain Vigneault was the head coach, and then we had Lindy Ruff, Kirk Muller, and Dave Hackstall on the staff. So I got to know Hack, over the course of about a month over there, and we actually drove together one time. We spent about 4 hours driving to see a Finland pre-scout game, and just talking together in the car, spending time with him, getting to know him, watching how his work ethic was incredible during that tournament. He did a lot of our, sort of eye in the sky stuff and pre-scout stuff. And, he was always there, never took a night off to come to have dinner or something. If he had a job to do, he was doing it, worked incredibly hard. And so we started going through the interview process. He was the guy that I had kind of had that little bit of a relationship with. He got to work in Toronto under Mike Babcock and then Sheldon Keefe, so in that market. So I think he was more prepared by that point to be a head coach. As I went through the process, I just felt he was the right guy. I mean, this was going to be a complicated job. It was going to take somebody that was extremely detailed and organized as we're trying to bring in all these different players and their families and get them to learn a new system and learn each other. And so that's why we went down that road. COVID really put a wrench into a lot of things, and I think had an impact on our season that first year. But Dave and his staff never stopped doing the things that they felt they needed to do to help the organization be successful. And I felt our players never quit. They kept battling right to the end of the season. And really happy for him and his staff that the team had the success they had this year. Really happy for him that he got nominated as a finalist for the Jack Adams Award. I think he's a great coach and probably even a greater person. So it's exciting for him and to have that happen.
Yeah, no, it's a good call by you. And listen, that's the importance of, like, sometimes you go and you do those international tournaments, man. You get to know different people and establish different relationships. And you got a good staff there, man. Jay Leach is getting a lot of attention from some other potential openings. You got Dave Lowry on the staff, so you've got a good coaching staff there for sure. So. Hey, a couple more things before I let you go. Jaden Schwartz, a guy who we know real well here, man, he's been through a lot personally, and the first year he wasn't really able to play. I know what he's been dealing with from a health standpoint, and he was able to, at least get it under control to be able to play games this year. Like, what did he mean to your team, as a veteran guy who's won before?
He's just such a big piece. He had a tough first year and a hand injury as well, too, so he missed a lot of time. But he knows how to play the game. He knows where to go to score goals. He knows, how to do the simple things, the smart things, the right things to do throughout a hockey game. And he gives you what he has every night. So to have him, in our lineup more regularly was huge for our team this year. And you saw it in the playoffs when they start. He's the guy that has won before, knows what it takes to win, and knows how to elevate his game. So a big part of what we have here in Seattle for sure.
He's a gamer, man.
Too.
He's a gamer in the playoffs. There's no
really
doubt.
Really good dude.
And I got to let you pump up and pump the tires of Matty Berniers too, because he's such a big part of your organization, up for the Calder and all that. Like, what's your take on what he brings to the table?
Yeah, so we brought him in 2 seasons ago, the last 10 games, and I'd be lying if I said I thought it was going to go as well as it did. I think he had like 9 or 10 points in the 10 games and played really well. And I'm thinking, okay, that's great to see. But now we got this young kid. He's going to think the league's kind of easy. He's going home for the summer, and he's going to work as hard as he needs to work. And to his credit, he came back and day one of training camp. He's the kind of guy that pushes the pace in practice every day. He pushes the pace in games every night. He's well respected in the locker room by everybody. Guys with 1 year experience, guys with 12 years experience. He finds a way to fit in and be a part of that. And on top of it all, he's a really good hockey player. So it's exciting to have him in our organization. I'm excited to see how he continues to grow over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years as he gets a little bit stronger, a little bit heavier. But terrific kid, terrific family, and a terrific hockey player. And the Seattle Kraken are lucky to have him in the organization.
Hey, you won all those Lady Byngs, by the way. I like that fight video of you and Alexei Kasatonov, by the way, Ronnie. Yeah. I don't know how many fights you got in, but that one's still out there, just so you know.
Yeah, I got in about 5, I think. I wasn't the smartest back then. I think I fought Tiger one day and maybe Platt and Kasatonov. I was more of a wrestler. I tried to get in tight, grab the front of their pants, and pull their legs out, so it didn't last very long because I wasn't a great fighter.
That's a smart move right there. Hey, man, we appreciate you coming. Hey, you got a great thing going out in Seattle. Your hair still looks thick and luscious, just so you know. You look like you're 45 years old, man. You don't age. You look damn good, and you got a good thing going, man.
And you guys have great colors, too, man.
I love the
great
unis.
jerseys.
Yes, they're badass.
Everything, man. So
you got a good thing going.
We're all about Seattle. So all the best to you, Ronnie. Thanks for doing this, man.
Ronnie.
My pleasure, guys. Really appreciate taking the time to talk Seattle.
Yep,
right on,
you got
buddy.
it. We'll talk soon. The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by Bellman and Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get out there to Detroit, Missouri. Check it out. On one side, you got the Buick, the GMC. Options for everybody. Then right across the street, you got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Again, find something that works for you and get yourself a new set of wheels in time for the summer.
Yeah.
All right, that was Ronny Francis, Cam.
Oh, my God. Great guy. Great guy. Hall of Famer. He was cool with us. Gave us some time.
Super cool. He's just chill. Sometimes you can listen to these guys talk. You can talk to them, and you know exactly, like, kind of how they operate.
Yeah. Under
control, composed, poised, how they interact with their players, why players would like them. Like, I can see players just being like, what's up, Ronnie? You know what I'm saying? Like, he just kind of has that rapport. He knows what it's like to be a player. And there's something to be said for that, man.
Yeah, he was totally cool. I like getting all those guys on. He was awesome. He was comfortable. Questions, man. We got a big following up there in Seattle. Love all you guys up there, man. I know you guys are probably like Like, wow, because Brody told us about the, like the numbers.
The numbers in Seattle are very high.
Fucking high. I'm like, damn, they're probably just like maybe new fans, maybe old fans. Maybe they're like, oh, we want to hear podcasts.
I'll admit I was wrong on that Hackstall too.
Yeah, remember they hired him? We're like, what?
Yeah, well, I knew that, he was a Hextall hire, Hextall and Hackstall, and I believe their kids played together at North Dakota or
Very
something.
confusing.
And I felt like, or not their kids played together, but Hackstall was the coach at North Dakota. Hextall's kid played there, I think.
Yeah.
And I just was like, it left me kind of not overly impressed. But then again, nobody's gone into Philly and been that impressive recently, so can't really hold it against him. Then he goes to Toronto as an assistant. And I loved Ronnie's story, though, man, how he's at the World Championships, and this is the benefit. And I was talking to Doug Armstrong last week about this, too. This is the benefit of going to the World Championships, where you get to meet some of these coaches, other managers, players that you really wouldn't have an opportunity to cross paths with. So they go on these scouting trips in Europe, and they're driving across Europe, 3-4 hours at a time, sometimes maybe even longer. And that's where you have the real conversations, Cam, and that's where you get to know people. And he did that with Dave Hackstall, man. Went on a scouting trip, 3-4 hours in the car in Europe. They're talking hockey. He's like, wow, this dude's pretty impressive. You create that relationship. That's why if you're a coach, and you shouldn't really turn down the opportunity to go, man. You never know when you're going to
that's true.
Meet somebody that you're going to need down the road to have that contact. And that's what led to Hackstall getting the job. And that's a little bit of a risk, man, because he didn't have a whole lot of success in Philly. And so I'll give Ron Francis a lot of credit that he stuck with his gut feeling, that intuition, that this is my guy. And last year it looked, once again, like it wasn't going to work out because they weren't very good last year in their first year. And everyone's looking at Vegas and, well, why aren't you better, Seattle? But
and they are.
He stayed patient with them. And you look at the improvement they had this year, and Hackstall's a big part of it.
They had a fucking COVID year.
Everybody did.
Yeah, but that's a new fucking team. None of those guys played together. Like, they didn't. This is a new team. They don't know each other, and they can't do anything together. So probably fuck them more than anybody else. Like, COVID fucked a lot of people up. But I think a new team like that, I would say that hit them in the face pretty good as far as connecting, hanging out, get to know each other. I know that sounds petty to the untrained eye, but as a team, you gotta mingle with each other. Like, you gotta have outings. You gotta do shit.
I think
like,
they were to an extent.
Yeah, I just think there was a lot. There was a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's just goofier. So I don't like excuses for anything, but I'm like, that makes sense. And
very expensive.
Then obviously they made some moves and they got 40 points.
Seattle's very expensive. Did you know that?
Fuck yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, Andy. Yeah, I do. I know.
It's very expensive, dude.
Yeah, I know it is. It's the West Coast.
It's the Pacific Northwest.
No shit. It's expensive as fuck, man. But
it's really pretty. I've been on islands in Washington State.
Well, you know what? You get to do a lot of things. Did you play out there? Were you playing for somebody?
No.
You just hanging out by yourself?
Hanging out. I had friends that moved out there in the island.
Badass.
It's awesome. Actually, I'm taking the family cam in July up to the Northeast.
Where?
I don't know. We're looking at like the Cape Cod area, like Boston area. But I'm having issues finding a place to rent, like an Airbnb, because they only rent like Saturday to Saturdays.
Oh, yeah.
And
why do that again?
I like to check out areas I've never been to.
You never been out east?
Yeah, I have, but I've never gone up to like that coastline in the Northeast.
What are you gonna do with the kids there?
Go on the beach, chill.
Okay, I'm just asking. As long as there's a beach, I think that's cool.
Oh yeah.
No, well, sometimes I wonder with Andy when he I think he gets. I think he feels like he has to go on a vacation to keep up with the Joneses where he's from. Like other people in his like the racket club or going places. So Andy's like, I gotta do something. Like just
Cam.
You don't need to.
I love to explore.
Like why don't you take him to a park down in the middle of Missouri and camp out?
I don't want to do that.
You want to go? You're gonna fly?
Yeah.
To fucking Boston with the kids.
Yeah.
And go on the beach there, the beautiful Boston beach.
Dude.
What?
Cape Cod. It's beautiful.
Okay.
We may go up to Maine. So I want
and do what?
I want my listeners to help me out.
Maine, but like
if I were to go to Maine, Where's a good spot to go? There's tons of stuff.
but
for
like,
kids
what does
to
that
do.
mean? A good spot to go with 3 kids in Maine?
It's like people go.
I don't know.
People go to Mexico.
I just think
people go to Jamaica. They go to Mexico. They go to Dominican Republic. They go
I
to.
know.
They go to Turks and Caicos. They go to Fiji. They go all over the world.
I
dude.
just feel like if I had 3
They go to
kids,
Croatia. They go to Greece. They go to
no
Iceland.
shit, dude. Good
And
God.
this guy wants me to go to middle of Missouri, where it's like mosquito
You don't
fest
know where
in the
fuck
middle of
you
the
wanna
summer.
go. And he doesn't even know what the fuck. There's somebody else making
he's
decisions.
Like, why are you going to a beautiful spot when you can go
What?
to beautiful Missouri in a park? Go to a park in middle of Missouri.
No, spend money and go to Chicago and then have them spend money on shopping all the time and then come back pissed off. And then I have to hear about you being pissed because you wasted your fucking time and they spent like $4,000 on shopping. So now you come back and you're in a pissy mood and I'm like, why the fuck would you do that? So now you're going to go to Cape Cod with 3 kids. And what are you going to do again?
We'll go
like
to
simplify your life, homie. That's a 3-hour flight. Like you can get as much satisfaction. The kids don't even know where the fuck they're at. You might as well go down to go to Big Cedar and chill and take a boat out and actually enjoy yourself. But no, you want to go to Cape Cod and I'm going to drive up to Maine with 3 fucking kids. That sounds miserable.
If I can't find a place in Cape Cod, man, they keep rejecting me.
Why don't you go rent a boat down?
All the Airbnbs, they keep rejecting me because it's not Saturday.
Yeah,
to
you're going to have to pay
Saturday.
$10,000 a fucking month. Why don't you go?
I'm like, I got a podcast due on a Monday. I got to leave on a Tuesday.
No, I know. That's another thing. So I'm going to have to like reschedule my schedule
You won't.
because you're like, I have to do things. Fucking simplify your goddamn life. Go down and rent a boat at fucking Table Rock Lake for 3 days and you'll enjoy everything. You could snorkel, you could do everything. It's relatively cheap. Nah, let's get on a plane. And then get on a plane and rent a car and then drive farther on the East Coast with 3 kids.
Can people
And eat and shop.
Hey, let me know the best beaches in the Northeast.
Not many.
That within 2 hours of Boston.
Why don't you go to Martha's Vineyard and hang out with all the people up there?
So listen, right next to where we would be in Cape Cod, you can take a water taxi over to Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard if you wanted to.
See, that Andy likes to do that kind of stuff. He likes to go to like Martha's Vineyard and the people like, look, I'm wealthy. I'm keeping up. Look at me. I'm here. Meanwhile, they look down on you. They're going to look at you like, look at these poor folk. They are.
No, they won't.
And he's like, I'm part of you. No, you're not. You're a fucking hillbilly from Missouri. And you're up there and you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. What a waste of fucking money, dude.
No, it's not.
Just go down and rent a boat. I don't get that. You go to Mark Twain Lake up here and rent a
I
boat.
don't want to go to Mark Twain Lake. I want to be on the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah. Fuck the Atlantic Ocean.
Why?
Fucking brutal.
You were just there in
Shitty.
Florida.
Shitty.
Florida's the Atlantic Ocean.
I like to go to the Gulf. The Atlantic Ocean sucks, dude. It's hardcore. It's cold.
No, I was just there.
It's not nice. The
South-
beaches aren't that nice.
We were in
Atlantic
Hilton Head
side.
last summer. It was beautiful.
Hilton Head's cool. That was expensive as fuck, too.
It was. But it was honestly, it was an amazing vacation.
But Atlantic Ocean, I'm like thinking of all the beaches. The Atlantic Ocean's like the worst.
Okay, but that's all the Atlantic.
It's telling
The
you.
Outer Banks of North Carolina.
I just think that you could simplify. Andy has to like again, like I think he tries to compete with his friends instead of just simplifying.
Dude,
I just know.
Why are you reading into my vacation?
Because I can read it. Because I know you more than anybody. I hang out with you more than anybody. You don't think I know you? You don't think I could read this stuff? There's so many little things you could do that's just so much easier. And you could do so much, and it's cheaper, and it's fun, and you're 3 hours away.
Well, you know, a couple summers
But
ago.
Andy's got to be like, it's Missouri's Hoosiers. I'm getting out of here. Because my people at the Creve Coeur Racket Club are like, oh, you're in Missouri? No, and meanwhile, like, go down. Like, I'd take you and Lori down there. You would have a blast.
Well, we can still do that.
No, you can't now.
Oh, no,
It's like one or the other. Andy's got to go for 3 weeks in Boston.
Couple of summers ago, we went to like Lake Tahoe. Beautiful spot.
Yeah, that Lake Tahoe's Lake Tahoe. We're talking about out east now. Like, I lived out there. Ain't that, I mean,
Cam,
like...
do some research on Cape Cod.
I know what the fuck it is.
Can y'all let him know who have been there?
I get it.
Where I'm going. And they've got the Cape Cod Summer League going on. We'll probably catch a baseball game, too.
Oh, cool. Because you like baseball so much. And so does Ty and Chloe and Ivy. And your wife. Lori, oh, yeah, let's watch a baseball game. They don't give a fuck about baseball.
Hey.
He's scrambling, though. I can feel like the kids are like, where are we at? What are we doing?
I would love to go to Acadia National Park up in Maine.
That'd be kind of cool.
But that's a 4-hour drive from Boston.
I know. You're just traveling.
So I want to keep it within 2 hours of Boston. I'd love to get up in Maine, maybe do some blueberry picking. There's a lot of things you can do.
You could do that. You could do that 20 miles
or stay
down
on the
road.
Cape.
He's got to go to Maine to go blueberry picking, Brody. Brody, I saw pictures of Brody. Brody's at a lake fucking hanging out doing
How
this
come I
thing.
didn't see it?
Dude, because I actually pay attention to Brody and his social media, and I like everything he posts.
Well, I didn't see that.
Well, you're not looking. But Brody was... Where were you at, Brody?
Where'd you post it? On your Instagram?
Where?
Carlisle Lake.
Yeah, Carlisle Lake. So what, dude? He was having a... Dude, he had a smile on his face. He had a smile on his face. Hanging out, doing this thing. The dogs are jumping in the water.
So
didn't spend any
so
money.
I'm gonna send you a picture.
Go to Boston.
I'm gonna send you a picture of me smiling, and my whole family's smiling.
I just feel like Kate and I are just like thinking about stuff. You know, we get invited.
You don't
to
have
so many-
kids.
I know. If I had kids, I certainly wouldn't go to Boston. I'd be going on a Table Rock every goddamn weekend. It's easy. You can rent a boat and drive for 50 miles and not see one person, but Andy's got to be in the mix. No, he's got to go to
everyone
Martha's
I've
Vineyard.
talked to has been like, "Oh, it's amazing up there."
And then Andy spends $7,500 on a trip.
Lighthouses.
Then he comes back and he's like, I got that. We got that. I'm like,
we got to get
"Jeez."
sponsors.
I'm like, God, who do you want me to call? Jeez, okay, I got it. Like, I just want you to be like, chill, homie. That's all. You act like I don't know you. You're crazy, man.
It's a great vacation. It's like going to, listen, some people go to Mexico. They go to Cabo. They go to Cancun. They go to Jamaica. They go to Dominican Republic. There's beaches all over the place. They go to California.
Well, I just feel like you go out
Some
of your
people go
way.
to Big Sky, Montana for like vacations, you know? Like
I know. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about you and your three kids. They don't even give a fuck about Martha's Vineyard. They don't care about the Atlantic Ocean.
Nothing's cheap.
They just want to probably dabble in the water and be safe on a boat and listen to music and jump in and splash in a pool.
Nothing's cheap.
There's cheaper things. You find the most expensive fucking thing to do. We're going to go here and then we're going to get in a car and we're going to go here and we're going to do this and do that.
People go to Naples, Florida. They go to Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah, but all you have to do when you go down to a beach is sit there and you're at your house and you go on the beach. You want to go explore things and do this.
It's absolutely.
It's just stressful. And you're gone a long time and you spend a lot of money. And then when you come home, you're in a pissy mood. That's what it is.
Not
so
true.
It directly affects me.
It's not true.
You can just simplify.
Well, I'm going to come back rejuvenated and ready to go.
I hope so. Because you chirp me for not being on my game. But I know when you're stressed out, it directly affects me.
I got you.
That's all.
Okay.
Why don't you go to Monaco?
Been there.
Why don't you go to Monaco on a yacht with the kids and watch
there.
racing?
We went to Monaco for my...
and go gamble with the kids. That'd be so fun.
So we were in Monaco. I was so pissed. I was there for my honeymoon. And we took the train to get to Monaco. And we're hanging out there all day long. Laurie didn't want to...
poor people?
She didn't want to leave to go back to Nice, where I almost got attacked, and I had to protect my wife from the gangbangers in Nice.
Oh, the kids?
France.
You mean the kids that have no weapons?
They're
they're badass.
Hit me over the head with a skateboard or something.
Yank.
And the last train was at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And if we didn't hit that train, the next available train was at like 6 in the morning. I'm like, we're leaving. We got to go. I'm not staying here all night till 6 in the morning. I didn't want to leave at 8 at night either, but I didn't want to be there till 6 in the morning. She wouldn't leave, Cam. She did not want to leave.
See, that's the problem. Andy, Lori's like, we should live in Monaco. That's the confusion.
Why don't we live here?
Why don't we live here? Well, we're not billionaire. You know, you have to be like $50 million to live there.
So I got her on that train though to leave.
So she's probably like, this is normal. Just
and then
like the hockey wives.
And then she was happy.
The
hockey wives that are making $750.
Well, I think you're fooling Laurie. I think you're fooling her.
Oh, she thinks I play?
I think that she thinks that you make a ton of money because you're like, let's go to Monaco. Let's go how about we just make it, fuck it. Let's go to the East Coast and just make it really expensive with the kids and do. So she gets used to that. Simplify, homie. Go get a cute little cabin, an hour and a half up the road.
I do that anyway.
Not really.
Those are weekend trips. This is family vacation. It's like the Griswolds.
How many do you have so far?
How many what?
Family vacations in the last 3 months.
Went to Chicago, I think.
Chicago.
And Innsbruck.
And then South Carolina.
I don't know if that was the last 3 months.
It's a lot.
South Carolina was like over a year ago, about a year ago. That was Hilton Head. We drove all the way out there. I rented a minivan. and drove everyone out. Hey, listen, y'all, let them know, man. You got to get out of town. You got to
I get that.
You got to get your mind right.
I get that, but you could simplify it. There's other ways too. I think you just put a lot on your plate. That's all I'm saying.
No, this is where you go and relax and just.
Oh yeah, East Coast. You go to the East Coast to relax. You go up to Boston and New York to relax. It's fucking chaos. You know, you go to a lake to relax.
Lake life.
Lake life. Fuck yes, lake life. You're goddamn right.
I was looking at
all you need is water. Mm-hmm. You don't need anything else. You don't need Martha's Vineyard. You need a fucking just a source of water.
Yeah.
And then you and the kids could jump in and do whatever you want. It's barbecue.
Cam wants me to go to the Ganges River.
I just want you to be happy.
And there's like dead bodies like floating by.
Oh, that's India.
Okay.
You ain't going there.
If I was going there, he'd be like, "Oh, cool."
No, I wouldn't. I'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You'd be shitting blood. Fuck that.
Well, I'll let you know how it is when I come back.
Ganges fucking river.
I'll let you know how it goes. You guys should come with us.
Fuck no.
Hey,
up to Boston.
All y'all out in the
I've
East
been to
Coast,
Boston a million times.
Hit me up. Where do we go? If I can't find a spot that's gonna rent on a during the week, and they want a Saturday to Saturday, let me know where I should go. Within 2 hours from Boston.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Just something that's just like easy and relaxing, man. That's all.
Listen, the houses I'm looking at, they're easy. You just rent the house. It's right a cottage.
That's all you need.
Cottage.
They're so
and
expensive.
then you're just chill.
All right. That's all. All right. Fine.
Yeah.
Let's worry about you.
Cam, everywhere is expensive. Everywhere.
Yeah. Especially the East Coast.
Yeah. Northeast.
Yeah, I know. I know what it is. I lived out there, Andy. Remember?
I remember. Well, it's not the Hamptons,
Well, that's kind of what you want to do. And I bet you if you go out there, she's going to be like, I want to go to the Hamptons. You're
yeah,
like,
we'll go
I think you're right.
We'll go there.
Let's go to the Hamptons with 3 kids.
Let's just go there now.
Let's go there. Live there. You should just live there. Next to Obama.
Anything else on Ronnie or Dubas or anything? Or
Ronnie's awesome, man. Doesn't age. Great guy.
Doesn't age.
Doesn't.
You like his hair and everything.
Yeah, dude. He's legit.
What do you think of that team over there in Seattle?
I like that team a lot. I do. I like the atmosphere.
You think it's a destination for free agents?
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm. Damn right. Beautiful rink. Everything's fucking advanced. Probably have a nice jet. You got money.
I don't think they have state taxes either, do they?
Yeah, they
in
do.
Washington State? Double check that.
Yeah, they do. Oh, yeah, they do. In Washington State. You want to bet on that?
I think I might bet on it.
Oh, fuck. I bet you they do.
I
bet you it's 50% too. Bet you they taxes are at the fucking wazoo. I mean, yeah.
Really?
You think Washington,
Florida, and Vegas,
Texas, baby. Florida, Vegas.
I want
Texas.
no state taxes.
Well, Missouri should be.
How do they turn into no state tax? How do you decide to do that?
I don't know.
See, Vegas doesn't need that because they get so much tourism.
Missouri's so
revenue.
stupid. The taxes, and then not to mention the gambling.
And Florida gets so much tourism revenue too.
Oh, they get shit. Well, yeah.
They probably is that why they can say, "Hey, we're not going to have state taxes."
And Texas too. They're booming in so many different things. Texas is making money.
Like Houston, Texas.
Yeah, Houston. I mean, Austin's getting a little crazy down there.
Dallas is Austin's great though.
Yeah, but they're getting a little goofy. But yeah, I like Texas, man. Fuck, I'd find the cheapest state in the world is. Or in the United States, I think is Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
I'd find fucking 1,000 acres there on a fucking huge lake.
In Mississippi?
Hell yeah, I would.
Okay.
And I'd buy a fucking badass house on 1,000 acres on rolling hills in Mississippi.
You can find that. Well,
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to buy property somewhere, like, I wouldn't care if I'm living in Mississippi if you get a good deal on 1,000 acres with a huge pond because it's cheap.
You might care when you get there.
Dude, I'll have nobody around.
You should look at Cape Cod.
No, I don't deal with that shit. I want to be in the Midwest. I want to be around hillbillies. I don't want expense. I want to shoot my gun. I want to fucking.
You should get an Airbnb.
I want to. I want wildlife around me. Like fuck that.
Get an Airbnb. And just rent it out.
I'm going to Boston.
Maybe somebody listening has a vacation place for us to rent out.
Yeah,
I got the
go
plane.
to Ibiza.
I got great deal on the plane tickets. Had a lot of points and stuff like that. So.
Oh, well, I get that. Then I get that. So anyway.
All right. Well, Ronny Francis, Cam.
Yeah, awesome, dude.
He played in the Northeast for a little while in Connecticut.
Yeah, in Hartford. Why don't you go to Hartford with the kids, Andy? And walk around at tourism and do nothing.
The Cam Strick podcast is brought to you by Hair Club and hairclub.com, baby.
Hell yeah.
Just walk on in, Cam. Be confident.
Yeah,
Strut yourself.
Get the fuck in there and talk to them.
Ugh.
It's all you have to do. They'll let you know exactly what to do.
Do you know in youth sports right now, they like stop the game for water breaks?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, well, they're subbing in and out. They're getting water breaks. So in soccer, Cam, the clock doesn't stop. You know how it's running time?
Mm-hmm.
They don't stop the clock during the damn water breaks.
Oh, yeah.
My son's baseball game, they actually cut the game short because of the heat the other day. Yeah, Cam's wearing pants at an outside an event.
Look like an idiot.
First form, Nick's like, is he really wearing pants right now?
know.
He kept like trying to hint to Cam, well, you know, they're selling shorts inside
I'm not
there.
buying fucking shorts, Nick, dude. You give me free fucking shit every month. I'm not buying them.
He kept saying, hey, Cam, they're selling shorts inside.
Yeah, I fucked
Did
up.
you hear him say that?
Yeah, I did.
Several times.
It was so embarrassing.
They're like, Cam would go to the bathroom like 25 times, and they'd be like, is he hot wearing those pants?
Yeah, I kind of was.
Dude, it was like 100 degrees outside.
I know. It's all good.
It's okay.
All right, I'm sure they're making fun of you too, Andy. Come on.
With my Jordans on?
Well, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I was fine. You know, I'm a pretty confident guy.
No, it was
Although
fine.
I look like an idiot.
No, it was great.
times.
You wouldn't even have noticed.
You know.
It was awesome. I don't like the way you talked to that cop, though, when we were walking back to the car. He did not like you.
Why? What do you mean?
He just like...
I go, hey, dude, what's up?
Yeah. He's like...
No, I just say hi to cops, dude. I always do. Say, what's up, big dog? Like I do, man.
You call them big dog?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Because he's probably working. He's probably fucking sweating his ass.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's up, big dog?
He's in his car. He's fine.
And I usually think people know me, so I just want to...
He thinks that's what you were thinking.
Yeah, of course.
thought
So I go, what's up, homie? And that's what you do. You just be nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Cam said hey to me the other day. I always do that.
Mm-hmm.
I say hey to everybody.
Me too.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you do.
Hair Club and hairclub.com. Ask about that little pill, Cam.
Yeah, ask about everything.
And the robot...
Artist robot
is one of the most amazing inventions. They've got locations everywhere throughout North America. Check out their website. Find the one nearest you and just walk on in for that consultation.
Dang right.
First Form, Nick, and firstform.com. Use our link, Cam, firstform.com/Cam Strick. If you're going to order anything, we got a lot of our listeners who are doing it, man. We appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts, man. We appreciate all the support you give all our sponsors. Firstform.com/Cam Strick. Use our link and use it today.
Dang right, baby. Thank you, Nick, for inviting us and all that stuff.
Oh, my God. It was amazing. Get that Peanut Butter Lover bar, by the way. You can get the chocolate, the cookie dough one. Have you tried that mint chocolate chip?
Oh, that's what I use every morning.
Oh, it's amazing.
Damn right.
It's amazing.
It makes it for me every morning.
They've got like ice cream float or something like that for one of the flavors for the protein, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do know.
Yeah.
I actually take it
Root beer float.
when I get done doing 1,500 push-ups.
Yeah. It's amazing. Use it and use it today. First Form, baby. Firstform.com/Cam Strick. That is the link you use. Tesson Roofing.
My boy.
Check it out.
It's my boy.
TessonRoofing.com. It's the American dream, man. The absolute American dream. Greener shingle. Ask about that. Ask about the nanotech. I mean, it's not just about getting a new roof and all that. It's about preserving the roof that you do have and taking care of the roof that you do have, saving money off your energy bills every single month.
Energy bills. Save money. These guys are the real deal.
Cam, there's a lot of roofing options out there.
Yeah, I know, especially in St. Louis, man. These guys are the real deal. I'm telling you. They're fair, they're honest, and they work their ass off.
And not many can say
good.
that they're a preferred contractor with just about every major insurance company. Not many can say that.
Oh, no, that's
and
nice.
they're getting like national awards.
Yeah.
TessonRoofing.com. Check out their website and do it today. 314-932-1042 if you're local.
Damn right, baby.
314-932-1042 if you're local. Bellman and Bellman.com. Cam, at Bellman, you get no what?
Swinging dicks.
And they're located where?
Try.
Buick GMC on one side, on the other side it's Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hell yeah.
They got it all. They got everything, Cam.
Yep, and you don't have to have nice credit either. It doesn't matter.
Say hi to Danny Boy.
Danny, what's up?
Say hi to Kenny.
Kenny.
Dale?
Dale. What up, Dale?
If you have bad credit, no problem. They'll take care of you. And they want to buy your used car, too. So a lot of options there at Bellman. All right, this has been episode number 241, Cam, of the Cam and Strick podcast.
It's a good one.
Hope everybody checks out our Instagram page, all our social media, Twitter, our website, which is fantastic, camandstrick.com. Michael Dane, give him a shout out.
What
The
up,
great
Mike?
Dane.
Damn right,
Taking
baby.
care of the website. It's our main man. So check all of it out, man. Keep supporting us. Hit that like button. I want to see you crush that like button. I want to see some reviews. If you want to put any reviews on any of the platforms, man, feel free to do so as well. And we love our Canadian audience, man. We had a huge
all you
Canadian audience last week when we had Pierre Dorian.
I bet we did.
Yeah,
I
we'll
bet we
get.
did. We're gonna have Seattle audience now, baby.
Yes.
Let's go.
So enjoy the one and only Ronny Francis. We've got other great interviews coming up as well, man. Excited to what the summer is going to bring everybody on the Cam Strick podcast.
Love you guys.
Enjoy the Stanley Cup final. We'll talk again very, very soon. As always,
See you, dudes.
adios.